Freeze them all! We're saving these babies for 2028!
They said freezing my eggs was crazy. I think it's badass.
I've been saving you guys for 2 years. Now, make me proud.
Comrades, the future of America belongs to...
They grow up so fast.
What's up, everybody? So great to have everybody here tonight. I hope we all enjoyed that little ditty from AO whatever her name is, AOCC. What's wrong with my camera? Oh, man. It's going to take me a few days with the camera stuff to get it back to the way it should be, but no. There we go. That's better. Still a little issues here with the camera and the computer. I got the computer. I made some fixes to the computer, but it's still not working right. There's still some problems, so I'm going to have to take it back apart again and do something else. Not the liquid system is fine, but it's just not, the sensors aren't reading, so I have to basically, it's just running at 100%. I had to just basically manually turn it because for some reason the stuff's not talking to each other the right way. So I don't know. I got to figure out what the problem is. But thank you to everybody who was here tonight. Everybody here. Thank you. Look at this. J. Marco with 440 joules. Thank you so much. That means right now, folks, we are just $96 away from adding a first additional hour. And just $46 away from activating Bellavision for the evening. Because there is a goal, as there is every night on the show. When we hit for every 100 that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting memberships on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Twitch, and Locals, along with Locals coins, Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up. When we hit 100, we add an extra hour to the show. And then for each additional $100 that comes in, we add another additional hour to the show. So the show could be as long as you guys want it to be. It could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6, 8, 10, 12. You name it. It's up to you. And as an added bonus, when we hit 50, we activate Bellavision for the evening. Yes. Unless a generous individual gives $20 or greater, and then that person would become the star of the show and activate Bellavision for the whole night. Yeah. Oh, look at this. America First says, hello. Hey, everybody. What's up? Thank you. And with that 6, that means, folks, we're now just 90 away from adding a first additional hour and just 40 away from Bellavision. That's how that works. What's up, Alan Sparks? Hey, everybody. What's up? How's it going? Miss Hacker, beautiful bug. Great to see you. Joe's here. What's up, Joe? Not That Karen says, hello to my fellow anti-communists. Mismo's here. What's up? Not That Karen. Great to see you. Anyone you heard of Arthur Hayes and Michael Bennett? Are they singers or are those politicians? Because I know there's a Bennett that's a senator. I thought he was a Democrat from Colorado or something. Maybe I'm wrong. But I know there's Tony Bennett was a singer. I'm not sure. Jonathan, what's up, Jonathan? Thanks for being here. Jay Marco, thank you for the 4440 joules. I don't know. I think I said something because I added it, but whatever. So what the F's here too. So's Dan Gagax. How's it going? Did I miss Jim's show last night, or was he a no-show? I was going to stream last night, all right? But what happened is I had relatives that were in town for like 10 days. They were in town, and they left this morning. My parents and my sister were here because my parents go back to Illinois for the summertime, and then, they're back here in the winter. But so they were leaving this morning. So I was going to stream, but then I was just hanging out with my dad. So, you never know when's the last time you're going to get to see him and hang out with him because he is very elderly. So I hung out with him instead of streaming. My apologies to anybody who was looking forward to the show and just, oh, look at this. Make it 26. Well, thank you. So Bellavision is, for all intents and purposes, activated thanks to America First for the 20. So that means, folks, we are now just 70 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Bellavision stays up. Surfing the Rob, Jim, Joe infotainment and cooling off after another hot one. Well, that's cool. Old country singers, boomers. Oh, okay. Yes, thanks again. Yes. Yeah, hooray. Yes, Bellavision is there. So we'll do this. We got some stories to talk about. I believe something happened on the Rumble. Hey, look at that. Big Harry is now a monthly supporter of the Big Harry. Well, thank you, the Big Harry. That means, folks, we are now just 65 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. And I did stream Saturday night after I fixed the computer. And I did raid a bunch of people, all you guys out to a show, and some people were not happy with the show. My apologies. I thought it was I don't know. I can't pull the mic closer. You can't hear me? Huh? What is going on? Everything seems like it's working. Hello. Oh, it does seem quiet. Let me see. I don't know what is going on. We'll see. Wait a minute. Oh, I think I might know what it is. Let me see if I can fix it. But thank you, Big Harry. Audio. No. We hear you just fine. Okay. You hear me just fine. All right. Okay. Audio seems fine. All right. I thought there was something going on. I thought there was a problem. Okay, thank you, Rye Bread. I love rye bread. Although, I don't like commies. Sounds good. Okay. I don't want it to be too loud. I don't want it to be too loud. I like my tones to be dulcet tones, Dulcet tones. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with my mic. I don't know. Someone was telling me the other day that I was crackling. So, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's get into the first news story. You guys might have saw this. You might not have saw this stuff. We got stuff to talk about. Fauci, you guys know Fauci, privately warned of miscarriage risks linked to the COVID vaccine. You don't say. Publicly claiming no issues, but released text messages show otherwise. Yeah. That's crazy. It says, it's really hard to find words to describe the outrage I have for this monster. The fact that he's not sitting in a jail cell right now is just adding insult to injury. So let me get this straight. Fauci harvested human baby scalps and grafted them to mice, tortured puppies to death, severed their vocal cords to silence their screams, and created COVID-19 in a lab, which killed millions. And Progressive had pillows with his face on them. It's insane. It's insane. And I always like to add in there, a lot of people miss this one. All right. Fauci's first job with, the government, research, whatever. I don't know if it was NIAID or whatever, National Institute of Infectious Diseases or something like that, was working. It was wherever it was, he was working for CDC or one of these organizations in 1968 is when he started. And his first job was the Tuskegee experiments, NIH. Okay, National Institutes of Health, yeah, NIH. That's where he started. Because like people go, the Tuskegee experiments. No, that was during World War II. No, they were thinking of the Tuskegee Airmen. The Tuskegee experiments started in the 50s. And they're pretty brutal, what they did. They pretended like they were helping people that had syphilis, and they didn't. They just wanted to see what would happen to them. Like, let's see how far this can go. Or they would just say, like, well, these people are already so far gone, there's really nothing we can do to them, so let's just lie to them and tell them we're giving them something to make them feel better. Yeah. And it didn't get shut down until the Church Committee in 74. The Church Committee, which, shut down supposedly a bunch of other stuff, like MK Ultra and heart attack gun and, all that good stuff. It's God, family, country in that order. What about core? What about the core? The core is in there too. Yes. Yeah, well, for some reason, it was black people. Yes. El Sayed is set to follow in Fauci's footsteps. At 30, he was put in control of Detroit's public health. Wow. Hey, what's up, Les Paul? How you doing? Yeah, so. More texts reveal that the Biden-era U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy responded to Fauci's concerns about the COVID vaccine in pregnant women by adding, I've been hearing concern about the mRNA causing mutations in developing fetus as well. Joe says, too early for my BP. The more Fauci info comes out, the more I say screw the pardon. Sometimes dictatorships get shit done. I can look the other way for that monster. Well, I'm hoping that several states are looking into him. Several states, attorney generals. Yeah. So we'll have to see. None of these concerns were ever made public. The new flu vaccine is mRNA. Listen, mRNA, all right? mRNA was bad. It's been bad. Like, they know it does weird stuff. They know it does. It's not made for what they're trying to use it for. Okay? I believe they tried this a while ago with an avian flu vaccine. Like some kind of avian flu, bird flu, something like that, or swine flu. One of the two. I mean, I got so much stuff in my mind. Sometimes it's hard to keep track of it. It was either like an avian flu or swine flu or something like that. And they had to pull it off the market because it was a problem. Look into it. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Just Google it. Just goggle it. Hey, what's up, Finch? Great to see you. Glad you're back online. Me too. It changes genes. Yes. Fauci didn't give a shit. No, he doesn't give a shit about anything except for he wants to be famous. He wants people to love him. He wants to feel like a hot 80-year-old. It's called human experimentation on hundreds of millions of people. Yeah, and we did have this thing, that happened during World War II with, it wasn't just the Nazis. The Japanese also did experiments on people. And we had this thing called the Nuremberg codes that were put into place to say that this would never happen again, to guarantee that informed consent was a thing. And you could never do things to people without them knowing about it, what you were doing. Like if you were going to experiment on somebody, they had to willingly sign and say that they were okay with that. It kind of sounds to me like there's a whole bunch of people that should be tried for basically war crimes because, or whatever, crimes against humanity, I guess is what it would be. Not war crimes, but crimes against humanity. There should be some people. And that pardon isn't going to fly for crimes against humanity either. Just saying. his wife has a problem with her middle finger. Yeah, I think she developed maybe Bell's palsy or something it's called, right? Bell's palsy of her middle finger. That way it just locked into place like that. That's ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous. So this is really helpful. Thanks. I've been hearing the concern about the mRNA causing mutations in the developing fetus as well. It's a really good point, Ari. The cytokine or cytokine storm post second dose. So they know there's some kind of storm post second dose. Look at that. They knew there's a storm. A storm. Middle digitalitis. Maybe digitalitis. Too bad we don't have a free press that tells the truth. Well, we do. It's right here on YouTube. People like Robert Gavea, people like me, people like Joe Neerman, basically, you love them or hate them, but, these guys all try to tell the truth, Viva Frey. Even Robert Barnes, he thinks he's telling the truth. He might be wrong, but he thinks he's telling the truth. That's the difference, I would say, with the mainstream media. Is they know they're not telling the truth. They know they're lying. They're just repeating what they were told. Like, say this. Okay. Hey, Glitzy Glam Fairy, what's up? Good evening. Thanks for stopping on by. So, and then Tony, Rochelle, did you see this announcement today from the WHO saying they advise against pregnant women taking the Moderna vaccine because of lack of data? It has led to a flurry of questions. What's your take? I imagine we will get asked about this. Rest in peace, Cheryl Shepard Young, 1973 to 2026, my battle buddy. Oh, wow. Rest in peace. Oh, my God. That's a young lady. That's a young lady. Thank you for the 2 and rest in peace. Rest in peace, Cheryl. It means we're now 63 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Reuters, AP. Robert Barnes feels like he takes money from Russia interests. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far to say he's taking money from Russian interests or anything like that. I just think he's got his personal biases that he lets taint what he's taint his stuff. Is a little more than he should. Carrie Mullen actually developed PCR as in the COVID test. Robert Malone was instrumental in the mRNA development. Got the news during the Saturday stream. Oh man, Joe, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I've been hearing, Joe, and I don't know. You probably know a lot of people that serve too, but are you hearing a lot of reports about people like in their 50s and early 60s developing weird cancers and dying that served? Because I am, and I don't know. Like, I've heard stories about Lejeune's water and other water supplies that basically we let jet fuel and stuff like that and other carcinogens leak into the water supply, and they never really did anything to it. So I don't know. So it's been causing like some kind of weird, cancer, let's say, in the abdomen area. Just, I don't know. Similar to Tim Pool, Money Stops Time became more anti-Russian. Well, did you know years ago Robert Malone came out against the COVID vaccine? Oh yeah, Robert Malone said that he didn't think that mRNA that's not what it was designed to do. It's not for this. PCR test can tell if you had a cold a decade ago, nothing to do with COVID-19. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. Like, amazingly, when all this stuff was going on with COVID in 2020, 2021, nobody had the flu. We completely defeated the flu. No one had the flu anymore. So Ron Johnson releases text obtained from Dr. Fauci's phone that shows he expressed concern that the second dose could potentially be associated with miscarriage in the first trimester. Like, this should be like massive outcries from everyone in the country that's not an idiot, that people need to be punished. Oh, there were all the servicemen that were exposed to rats from nuke tests. Yeah. American Dreamer said COVID was the flu. Probably same vax now. Well, it was, but the COVID had a much better publicist. I think that CNN lady who interviewed RFK hasn't a clue on how clueless she is. She really believes she knows things when she hears experts. The mRNA vax were originally designed for experimental HIV vax. I never got the vaccine. I never got the vaccine either. The COVID vaccine. Never did. So, and it's time to lift the veil off the CCP virus and the vaccines. Oh, let's see. What's this?
These vaccines do not.
Wow. Well, just a milkmaid says, I have a hunch that the vaccine caused my daughter's brain cancer. That's the thing, that's the thing, just a milkmaid. I don't think anybody even knows all the stuff that it's caused. It takes about 10 years. 10 years of studying to determine what the hell stuff did, like 10 years. So we're talking about 2030 before they really start to know what this caused. There's been all types of reports about young kids developing strange cancers that they're like, wait, this is not normal for a 10-year-old to have this cancer, or an 8-year-old, or this is not normal. So America First says, it's my view that they deliberately released the COVID vaccine in order to harm the human race. It's possible. It's possible they did it for that reason. It's possible they did it to just tank Trump too. I mean, if China did it on purpose, you know what I'm saying? If just because, YouTube terms of service, then why would they do it? Do they want to do, China's having a population problem. They don't have enough women. So are they just trying to get rid of men? Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing, But I mean, if you look at what happened and what they were able to do because of it, how they were able to take control and lock down and see what they were, how much control and what they could trick people into doing. Well, it was a good dry run for what's coming next. Scott says communist socialist country leaders were probably happy it came. Then they could reduce their populations without scrutiny. Population control. Captain says, my ex got the jab both parts. 3 years later, he developed kidney cancer with no cancer history in his family. And that's a kidney and liver. Isn't that where they said it can get in there and cause problems? Where if it goes there, if it depends. Because I think that's what they're saying is it depends on where it settles, like where it goes. Like if it stays in your muscle in your arm, it's fine. It's just in your bloodstream. But if it moves or something like other places, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Never claimed to be a doctor. The jabs also sped up genetic diseases such as arthritis by 20 to 30 years. Wow. mRNA vaccines are an industry, and they're building more factories to increase the supply. It has nothing to do with health. There are 4 types of coronavirus. Common cold is type 1, COVID-19 formula type 2 in the early 2000s. Wow. It was a pandemic. Sending excess men to Tibet and Xinjiang for genocidal purposes. Wow. Exactly, and they haven't tested the tumor to see if it contains COVID vaccine traces. Pandemic. Yeah. Killed off a lot of the old folks. Don't sign a DNR. 70% of those that died signed DNRs. Like I saw this thing. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it. It was while I was off and wasn't able to stream, with RFK talking about some of these like organ harvesting places where basically they're killing people to take their heart. Like, the people are still alive. Like, horror stories of like the patients like basically freaking out when they're trying to kill them to take their, I don't know, man. It's some rough stuff. Graphene. I watched a video before COVID where China needed to get rid of the future health costs of their boomers. China reduces male population in U.S. The 14th has now been bastardized, and we're sending sperm to dumb American women and then back to children in China. Oh, God. Oh, God. Did you ever have any idea how many hundreds of thousands of 70-plus-year-olds died within 1 year of getting that vaccine? A lot. A lot. Poor guy crying while they were harvesting. Yeah, you saw that, right? That was bad. What's up? Do I think Iran is waiting for the Dems to pay them whatever amount they want? Chris Murphy's ready to cut the check. Probably. I don't know. I got a couple Iran stories. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know why oil prices are spiking again, why we're at $82 now again, when we were at 77 the other day. Like, what is causing this? What is the deal? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, look at this. Oh, the ABCs say Biden's puppets even lied to the Muppets. They knew in 2021 that the COVID injections caused miscarriages and mutations of fetus, yet they pushed it into masses. Yeah, Fauci lied. Cytokines storm. I think that's what they call it. Cytokines. Is it safe to get vaccinated if I'm pregnant? Oh, yeah. It's recommended for all people over 12, including people who are pregnant. Breastfeeding, trying to get pregnant now. Oh, yeah. So breastfeeding, it's not like breastfeeding. Like, that's the one thing. When I heard them say that, like, it's perfectly fine if you're breastfeeding, that immediately made me go, oh, this is bad. Because everything a mother has gets passed to the baby through breast milk. What's up, Zom? I ran so far away, I couldn't get away. Bum, 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 bum. Immoral Fat says I had to print out fake COVID paper just so my family would have me around. My friend signed the fake Walmart signatures. Wow. Well, I'm just going to say I'm not going to give any more information than this. I knew a person who worked at a facility in Chicago that was one of the places that the city of Chicago sent all their employees to get the free vaccine. And if you paid the guy $100 bill, he would squirt it in the garbage can and give you the card. A lot of people went there to get their shot, if you know what I'm saying. Thing is, with elderly, they don't harvest the organs. Yeah, they don't usually harvest organs on anybody, I believe, over the age of 50, if I'm not mistaken. I think around 50 is the cutoff for harvesting organs, I think. They might have raised it, though. It used to be younger. What's up, Derek? How you doing? Great to see you. What's up, Pet Rescue? Great to have you back. It's really bad when you have to lie to your own family about getting the COVID vaccine just so they'll allow you to come around. Well, Jim looks water cooled. Yeah, Fauci lied, millions died. If the jab accidentally hit a vein, it sped the dose around the body, immediately caused damage in some cases. Wow. Are the unnamed sources really Iran? It could be. It could be. You can't eat deli meat or color your hair while pregnant, but sure, get this new shot. Yeah. They tested the booster on pregnant rats and most miscarried. Tucker got a fake card. Well, it nearly killed me not getting the stab juice. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're saying that it nearly killed you. You're not getting the stab juice. Yeah. Where's all the warships Europe was going to send? Warships Europe was going to send. I'm not talking about rowboats. I know. What's up, Mark? Great to see you. Thanks for having me. Yeah. Steve, what's up, buddy? Preggers can't eat deli meat. They're not supposed to. They're supposed to stay away from stuff with high nitrates. They're also supposed to not eat tuna. Pregnant women or breastfeeding women are not supposed to eat tuna because there's a lot of, there's mercury in tuna. And, I mean, it's okay, I guess, eat a little bit, but if you eat too much tuna, especially if you're pregnant, if you eat tuna, cause serious problems. A squirt in the garbage can. Have you watched the Kamala video of the jibby jab? Watch the nurse carefully. Yeah, they probably did it. Yeah, they probably did it too. Yeah. Any story on the new mRNA flu shot? I haven't heard any. Yeah, mercury. Yeah, mercury's bad. So Fauci privately warned of miscarriage risk linked to COVID while publicly claiming no issues. Fauci privately raised concerns that the COVID vaccine could theoretically be linked to miscarriages in expectant mothers, despite having publicly insisted there was no red flags. No rare steaks either. Oh, well, prayed over it and enjoyed it. Yeah, I think the reason they don't want the rare beef and stuff like that, they really don't want you to eat any rare meats because of prions that you can get, like as long as it's cooked through, you don't have to worry about it. But that prions, if you get any type of prions, it could cause a major problem. Prions? I think it's prions. So I asked around a bit more, and another issue came up I need to be aware of. Since many people have significant cytokines storms and fever after the second dose, this theoretically could be associated with the miscarriage in the first trimester. Fauci, Walensky, and Murthy have been discussing whether vaccines pose any risk to women who followed the two-shot regimen earlier or later in their pregnancies. Chance of listeria. Hey, I'm Oral Fats, 2 joules. What's up? 100. Thank you for the 2 joules. That's 2 cents. Thank you for your 2 cents. I have absolutely no confidence in the CDC or the FDA. Yeah, I don't either. Years ago, Bill Gates did a TED Talk about population control. The variable that was going to be used to control the population was vaccines. Oh, my God. So days later, Fauci said during a question and answer live stream with the Journal of American Medical Association, the FBI found thus far, and we have to be careful, but thus far, no red flags about pregnant women. Months later, the Biden White House chief medical advisor also said tens and tens and tens of thousands of women who have been followed by the CDC have been vaccinated when they were pregnant. And there's no indication whatsoever that there's any increase of any adverse issues in pregnant women who were vaccinated compared to pregnant women who weren't vaccinated. It's pretty clear that pregnant women should get vaccinated. Agree, Rochelle, there's no data theoretical reason to believe that vaccinating early versus later in pregnancy would be preferred. Yet some people, even female healthcare professionals, feel concerned about injecting a genetic vaccine very early in pregnancy. There is this misconception out there that we need to deal with, that mRNA somehow can get into your genes. When this misperception gets extended to an early developing fetus, the anxiety heightens. It does get into your genes. It's gene therapy. It's messenger RNA. That's the building blocks of. T. Sharkman says, we drank mercury out of a garden hose, uphill, both ways. Yes. I never got a flu shot, never had the flu either. Wow, you're a lucky guy to never have the flu. I've had the flu, I think, 10 times in my life, maybe 10 times in my entire life, maybe. I used to get it more when I was working, and I was working, around a bunch of people working on construction sites. I would get it almost every winter. J6 and the COVIDs are the punishment for voting Trump. COVID broke our country. It did. It broke a lot of people. It's not gene therapy if you don't call it gene therapy. I asked around a bit more about another issue that came up that you need to be aware of, since many people have significant cytokine storms after the fever. Second dose is theoretically been associated with miscarriage in the first trimester. Other communications between Fauci, Murthy, and Walensky also showed them weighing the potential risks of vaccination against risks posed by SARS-CoV-2, the virus caused by COVID-19. Murthy also mentioned he was surprised to see WHO put out a strong, saying they don't recommend Moderna in pregnant women. Oh. That's a strong statement to make and potentially quite damaging to public confidence among pregnant women. Fuck the public confidence. How's about we protect people's health? How about first do no harm? I thought that's the Hippocratic Oath. What happened to the Hippocratic Oath? Is it because these are scientists? These aren't doctors. These are scientists, some of them. So that's why they don't really care about, first do no harm. They're scientists. They got to do a little harm to learn some shit, According to Republican senators, just 3 contacts are listed in the phone, but it's too early to determine whether any data has been deleted. Why would there only be 3 contacts in the phone? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't. That does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I got to fix Bella's camera. Her head, she's got her head off. There we go. There's Bella. The Hippocratic Oath is first make as much money as you can and then worry about their health. Well, that fucker Fauci knew the masks kill. He researched it. Yeah, masks don't work. Not for that stuff. All right, on to story number 2. We got AOC, the commie, is trying to walk back her calls to defund the police. You don't get to shove radical leftism down Americans' throats and then laugh it off when it no longer serves your political interests. She can't hide from her socialist record. Yeah, look at her. Yeah, she's freezing eggs out here. Yeah. You think you're in any position? Congress sets new record low for legislative output. Like, why would you care? Why would anybody care about the output of Congress? Why do we need the Congress to constantly keep passing laws? What difference does it make? Why are they passing laws? Every law they pass infringes on our rights and liberties. It's controlling us. We don't want Congress passing more and more laws. Wow, look at all the laws signed by Obama. And then, the first year of the Biden administration. Now it's down. They should only be doing stuff that's absolutely necessary. This is ridiculous. Would Bella like a cooling bed? Probably. She'd probably like one. Yeah, gridlock is good. The founders wanted it. Yes. Doctors are to blame as they were encouraging people to take it. They got kickbacks. Yeah. No one talks about the wide variability in active ingredient concentration in the jab proves they did not follow manufacturing quality control. Yeah, long-term effects are not yet to be known. The children of children will tell the tale. The only law I want passed was the SAVE Act, and they screwed that up. Yeah, that's the only law that they needed to pass. Every new law passed by Congress should be countered with at least one law being taken off the books. No, I say every new law should be countered by 2 laws coming off the books. You can't pass a new law until you take 2 away. I can think of 2 right now that should go away. The NFA and the GCA. And that would also get rid of the Hughes Amendment because it was an amendment to one of those. So they need to codify Trump's agenda. It would be nice, but they're not. They're not. There's a law that it says a declared communist can't run for office. Well, there supposedly is that law. I don't know why they allowed Mundummy to run. So, yeah. AOC wants you to forget that Woke One starred AOC. Cortez has discovered the perfect escape hatch for a decade of radical advocacy. It wasn't wrong. You see, it was just a season of television. On ABC's This Week Sunday, the New York congresswoman laughed off her own defund the police record and the abolish everything rhetoric of her fellow communists, borrowing a line from New York City Councilman Chi Osesi telling a host that Woke One was crazy. What? Hey, Sweet Tooth, thanks for being here, buddy. 19 states have passed versions of the SAVE Act. Woke 1 was pre-Gamergate. Yeah. Take away the law that leads to squatters. It would be nice. What's up, B-Job Secure? How you doing? Have I seen Robert Barnes' Substack post? Pretty interesting reading. I thought he was pro-Israel. Now he's sounding more like Nick Fuentes. I can't stand AOC, me either. For some reason, Israel makes a bunch of people crazy. I don't understand why. I really don't. Israel doesn't affect my life at all. Israel doesn't affect any of your guys' life in the chat. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Unless you live in Israel or Gaza or somewhere like that or somewhere right there, it doesn't affect your life. It really doesn't. What's the point of passing laws when their enforcement is not applied evenly? Yeah, and who's in charge? It's a good thing. Deport them all. That's what I say. Deport them all. So Carl laughed right along with her, which tells you everything you know about how serious the press is.
Watch what VapoRub does to your brain.
Wow,
So
what
I was
does
watching
VapoRub do
YouTube
to
a
your
few
brain?
weeks back, and I came across this video of a guy who's like a brain health expert.
This is not a scam. All Americans can apply for the 2026 $20,000 debt relief program.
You know, the abolished prisons, abolished police, which is also positions that have been taken by a lot of the progressive candidates who have won. How do you get around that? I mean, those are not positions that are supported by most of
I mean, I think that a lot of these races, even right now, they'll have a tendency to be nationalized.
Yeah.
But these races ultimately are local, and all politics are local. My understanding is that that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot
Right,
of that.
she's moved away from it. And I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy. Okay, that's
and I think that what's important is that we have to assess what
was it. I mean, did the movement go too far with some of those positions? I mean, you briefly
Did the movement go too far? Did the movement go too far when you were saying that we should let all the people out of prison and we don't should have cops go places and do stuff? Regine Reynolds, thanks for stopping by. Good evening. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Hey Jim, possible incoming from Govea. I think he. I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it. So it's all right. He's got a lot of stuff going on. It's understandable. So, how you doing? I'm doing okay. I think the general public thought it was similar to the flu shots or polio vaccine that older people live through. Surely the government would eliminate the taxpayers. Well, here's the thing. I think some governments probably thought they were eliminating the takers, not the givers. You know. Yeah, she acts like she never said it. People think she's cute. I don't think she's cute. To me, I think she's like yes, please hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button. I don't know how much truth there is to this, but that I've read stuff and seen things. I mean, then I'm not a scientist, so I can't study the data, but that the virus was actually looked like it was engineered to target specific subsets of people. So if that's the case, like if they were looking for specific, like certain genetic haplogroups or whatever, it came here regardless of handoff. He is busy with little Govea. Oh yeah, no problem. I know. Rob just ended his members only. He's gonna go check on his wife and the baby. That's totally understandable, man. He's gonna be. It's rough, man. I will tell like every day is a blessing and it's a joy to see and spend time with them. And it goes fast, man. It goes fast. Like they grow up so fast. They really do. So
the idea of defunding the police.
Well, I think that during this time and especially during COVID, there was a huge opening of the Overton window. We were shut down. There was some of the highest unemployment rates that we have seen because of those shutdowns.
Yeah.
And I think that the doors were really open in trying to entertain any and every policy that was going to.
No, I don't find AOC cute at all. I don't. Like when she was like in her college years with the dancing and doing the stuff, she looked like a college girl, whatever. But like she's not smart. Like she is not smart. Like listen to her talk, listen to things she says. She is not smart. This is a problem is we have people who are not smart that are running shit in our country. We definitely should have like some kind of IQ test for government. I'm sorry. Like you can't be a representative. Like we shouldn't have Congress people who think a fucking island can flip over. If too many people get on one side of the island, I'm just worried they might flip over. That's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? America First says, if I was drunk, I would. Well, if you're drunk and she's the bartender in a bar and you're in your 20s and she's in her 20s and she doesn't talk and doesn't open her mouth, yeah, maybe. The Overton window just got opened. Yeah. We should have IQ tests for voters. Well, I'm all for that. She's not even bartender smart. No. She got her degree on her back. Yeah, seems like it. And I just noticed we had a rant from B Job Secure. Happy Monday. Thank you. So with that means, folks, we are now just 60 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much for being super duper generous. Smart doesn't have anything to do with cute. Well, I didn't say anything about it. Oh, look at that. I got $5 on the Cash App from Lurch Linger. Thank you, Lurch, for the 5. What that means now we're just 55 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Oop. Thank you so much. I was in Guam when a carrier group drank the island out of booze in 2005, but it didn't flip over. Islands don't flip over. They're not like... Where is Maxine Waters with Mitch? Maybe. Audition means she's an actor. Yeah, she did. She auditioned for the part. Yeah, she did. What people aren't realizing is they'll defund the police and replace them with the military. Well, they'll replace them. They'll replace them with their Red Guard. That's who they'll replace them with. They won't replace them with they'll replace them with the commie military. They're commies. That's what they want. They want their people in charge. AOC makes me look at my degrees like they're no big deal. If an imbecile can get one, what's the big deal? When was Maxine last cited? Nobody knows. People have been, Hakeem Jeffries has been voting for her by proxy, which is a problem because why is it still happening? Why is anybody allowed to vote by proxy? Now the Karen says, believing that something will happen to Fauci is like believing in Santa Claus. Nothing ever happens to these people. Well, I hope that's not the case. I want justice. I want justice. I really do. I want justice. We need it. We need justice. We do. We need justice. Why is proxy allowed in Congress? Yes, I don't know. Gestapo cops. Yeah, that's what they want. They want their red guards, their brown shirts, whatever you want to call them. Mao's red guards, whatever. She can eat corn on a cob through a picket fence. My suggestion is time jigsaw puzzle competition for candidates, a proxy for IQ tests. Yes, we do need justice, Chloe. Yes, we do. Sorry, let me back it up a second and see.
The doors were really open in trying to entertain any and every policy that was going to get us to a better place. And I actually think that the discussions that were had in that time were quite fruitful. I think
so. It was fruitful for the discussions to be saying when they were running around, when they were burning down police stations, when they were murdering security guards and cops. Yeah, that was very fruitful when the, whatever you want to call black separatist nationalists attacked the police in Houston, right? Or was it Dallas or Houston? Dallas or Houston, and killed, 6 cops, 8 cops, something like that? Yeah, that was fruitful. You don't get justice by asking for it. You get it by demanding it. Or you get it yourself. Sometimes you got to go out and get it yourself.
think that when we talk about crime today, it's fundamentally different than the way that we talked about crime in bringing crime down, right? And I think that we all share in the goals of having.
Okay. So the way that they want to bring crime down is they just dismiss the charges. That's how they get the crime rate down. They dismiss the charges. It's like, well, we don't have the crimes because we dismiss the charges, or we lower the crime down. You know, that's why we have all these crimes that we keep seeing day after day after day of people who've been released 20 times, 30 times, charges dropped repeatedly, judges let them go. Jim, but she is saving her eggs. Yeah, she's saving her eggs. She really loves egg salad. She heard that she's like, why am I not saving my eggs? Eggs are, have you seen the price of a dozen eggs? She's like, man, I every month I make my own eggs. I could just have my own eggs. That's what she's thinking. And all the criminals listed as white. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they dismiss the charges and not call some actions crimes. Yeah, that's what they do. That's how they do. You love fried eggs. Yes. Yeah, she's so full of herself. Yeah.
As low a crime rate as possible. I think that, during lockdown, of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today.
Wow. So it's not rhetoric we would use today. So according to her, the occasion for the joke was Wisconsin
Guys, there's
State
no doubt that buying stuff like this.
What the fuck are you doing? Why are you just in an autoplay? The occasion for the joke was when Wisconsin State Rep Francesca Hong, the Democratic Socialist, the communist running for governor, she spent 2020 and 2021 calling to abolish the police and prisons, and she once argued that in a since-deleted post that Thanksgiving should be canceled. She actually said she wants all holidays canceled. Yes. All of them. She suffers from main character syndrome. Yeah. I'm joining the lawsuit against Washington State Attorney General Ferguson with John Stockton along with RFK. We'll see. I hope so. I hope you can do it, man. I hope you can do it. Hasn't she been dating the same guy for about a decade? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? I think she did marry that redheaded ginger guy, which the guy, the guy kind of looks like Prince Harry, just not inbred. When CNN asked her about it last week, she fumbled through a non-answer. 2 days later, she told Politico that Thanksgiving is actually her favorite holiday, that it's not a change of heart, it's just a candidate who saw a poll. Mm-hmm. She's lost a lot of weight in the last few months. Who, AOC? Oh, I thought she might have been pregnant a while back. She looked like she was plumping up. Ocasio-Cortez was invited to say whether any of this went too far, and her answer deserves to be read carefully because it's the template the entire left will use between now and November. The extreme position, she explained, belonged to the lockdown era, a strange moment when everybody was rethinking everything. Here's the thing. If you guys remember, during the lockdown era, the only people that were locked down were the people that weren't protesting. If you were protesting, if you were burning down cities, then it was fine. You didn't have to be locked down. They got a pass. I think the doors are really open and trying to entertain any and every policy that we thought would get us to a better place. Fruitful of whom the cities that gutted their police budgets watched murder rates climb while the officers who remained fled for the suburbs. The residents of those neighborhoods, disproportionately the poor and working class people that AOC claims to champion, paid the price for those fruitful discussions. Don't forget the color of the carpet. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think Fauci's going to get what Steve Bannon got. It all depends on how many abuses of the Fifth Amendment they got him on. I think they got him on at least 3 color of his tie. Yeah, they said Fauci was going to answer the questions. That's what they said. I hope she didn't have. Well, nobody who lived through the consequences remember 2020's policy experimentation as an open-minded seminar. They remember it as a year their leaders abandoned them to prove a point on Twitter. Yeah, remember when, the Democrats, Nancy Pelosi, all took a knee in dashikis? Notice, too, what Ocasio-Cortez didn't say. She didn't say defunding the police was wrong. She did not say abolishing prisons was a bad idea. She said the rhetoric of that time is not rhetoric that we would use today, which is a statement about marketing, not conviction. When Carl noted that DSA program still lists abolishing the police among its goals, she retreated to a technicality, explaining that she belongs to the New York chapter rather than the national organization and doesn't endorse every plank. Oh, okay. This from the woman the DSA propelled to Congress before that group reportedly yanked its endorsement in 2024 because she wasn't sufficiently hostile to Israel. The radicals think she's too moderate, and she wants the rest of us to believe she was never radical at all. The Habsburg jaw is a status symbol for those guys. The whole performance rests on a bet, and that bet is American voters have a memory of a goldfish. Call the old position Woke One, chuckle about it on Sunday shows, and pray nobody pulls the tape. The votes exist. Email? Okay. I'll check it 1 second. The votes exist. Consequences are still visible in every city that took this movement at its word. A rebrand only works when the customer forgets the original product, and the original product is still on the shelves in Wisconsin, where Hong may be days away from a major party nomination for governor. Wow. Wow. Major party nomination for governor. I don't. Oh, here it is. All right. Oh, this is your. Do you want me to show that, Joe? I don't know if you want me to show it. If you want me to pull the picture up to show your friend who passed away, I will. Grandson? Oh yeah, he's here. Their grandsons are always here. So, note to self: always ask what chapter of the Communist Party she belongs to. Oh yeah, you can show it. Okay, someone's trying to break in. Yeah, the Sheikies to Kefayas. Dems really like their props. Yes, they do. So yeah, so this, if you guys know Joe's friend, Cheryl Shepard Young, 1973 to 2026, his battle buddy, passed away Thursday. Here she is. Let's all say a prayer for her family and her friends, that they can make it through this trying time, and hope that she is resting peacefully and in heaven with our Lord and Savior. Bella treadmill, go, go, go. Yeah. You saw a head peek in? All right. So, yeah, the votes exist. The consequences are still visible in every city that the movement took the movement at its word. A rebrand only works if the customer forgets the original product. Oh, I saw this. Scripture warned about exactly this kind of shamelessness. Were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not all ashamed. Neither could they blush. Therefore, they shall fall among them that fall. Holy Moses, someone in chat knows about the Habsburg jaw and the interbreeding Prince Stephen of Spain. Yeah. Well, that's why, that's prayers for Cheryl. Oh, thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, Joe. With that, we're now just 35 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you, Joe. And thank you to thank you for your service. Thank you for Cheryl, for your service, and prayers for your family at this trying times. It's rough, man. It's rough. The prophet Jeremiah understood that the danger is not the sin so much as the refusal to name it. And that movement that laughs at its own records has confessed nothing. So if Woke One was crazy, the honest follow-up is obvious. What made it crazy? Who pushed it? And why should anyone trust the sequel to the same writer's room? Jonathan Carl didn't bother to ask. The voters should. I just signed up again. I swear, are we on Bella time yet? Yeah, we're on Bella time. We're on Bella time. We're only 35 away from the first additional hour of the show. We got Bella time. So the New York Democrat said in an August 9th interview she remains in the group's New York chapter, but doesn't apply to the policies in the national program. This one. So. She doesn't support a set of positions that the DSA platform, including abolishing the Senate, eliminating the police and prison system. So she doesn't support that. So he asked Cortez whether those were positions she supported. No, but I think it's a free country. Everyone can have all sorts of beliefs. Huh. So she's perfectly fine with having people get into power that support those beliefs. No, those are people that you shouldn't be involved with. I mean, that's like saying the fact that people don't realize that the Democrats solely care about power, that they will allow, like, they would legitimately allow somebody that was the Nazi be in their party if they thought they could win and get the power. I mean, look, they had Graham Plattner with the fucking Totenkopf Nazi tattoo. Like, they say they're a big tent. Well, yeah, but you have to toe the line. There's certain things you have to agree with. All right? And you would think one of those agreements would be that we have, you know, a Senate, you know, and we have police and stuff like that. So she is asked to define the definition, the difference between socialism and communism. And she said the dividing line is democracy. Oh, so the dividing line is democracy. So she thinks that if 51% of people vote to take 49% of people's shit, that's just democracy in action, and that's not communism. She says that the socialists are fundamentally pro-democracy. No, that's not democracy to say you want people to be appointed to rule, you know, by like, the DSA polling must be awful. It depends on where you are, though. Depends on where you are. So, press opposition such as defunding the police that she supported. She said that, of course, during the lockdown, that rhetoric was fine. So, the Democrat Party is being driven off a cliff by socialists who are driving blindfolded while arguing about the view. So, yeah, that was and Fox News says AOC.
I have a local city councilman that has this. Have a local city councilman that has this.
Oh, we heard this already, so I'm not gonna.
Saying woke one was crazy.
So that's it. So there she is. There's her stuff. I just want to see if there's anything. Here it is right here, just so everyone knows. AOC defends defund the police mantra after Dem losses. There it is. AOC defended her support for defund the police Thursday night after an election season which Republicans weaponized the mantra to paint Democrat opponents as anti-cop. Democrat leaders complained the two issues are closely associated with AOC, defunding the police and socialism. Huh. AOC defended her position when a 14-year-old student asked her during a virtual town hall to find the meaning of defund the police. She says, Well, I believe the path towards justice is a long arc. Safety is not just an officer with a badge and a gun. No, but real safety is when the people have the ability to defend themselves. When criminals know that there's consequences, all right? When criminals think there's no consequences to their actions, that's when you have crime problems. Yeah, how can you be pro-America when you blame America for all the problems in the world? Yeah, it's crazy. I'm glad you got your computer fixed. Well, I fixed it myself, sort of. There's still some issues I have to work out, but thank you for being here, Mary. Let me know if you give an F what AOC thinks. I don't care. But you have to know what your enemies are saying. She sounds like a second grade teacher. Nah, she sounds more like a kindergarten teacher. Constitutional law professor stated in a democracy, 50.1% of the populace can vote to piss on the cornflakes of the other 49.9% mob rule. That's why our Constitution requires a Republican form of government. You can't have a tyranny over the minority. Unchecked spending on the NYPD has become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So she completely supports defund the police, and now she's trying to just change it up. And then here's Twitchy, which is Michelle Malkin's stuff. So, hey, what's up, Kevin? Thanks. She wants to memory hole her stuff. I literally can't even. I just want to memory hole it. So AOC on Francesca Hong's tweets calling for abolishing prison and police. Woke one crazy. Like, what? AOC's got these same things. It's crazy. Charvon says AOC likes being railed by white guys. It seems like it. It's buffering. Are you serious? Buffering? Again? Wow. Oh, AOC's going to... So, yeah, that's great. So, oh, great. It just kicked a whole bunch of people out, too. Great. Oh, that's just awesome that that's happening. Let me look at something real quick. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't my computer. It's got to be YouTube. I don't know. It did the same thing Tuesday, but then again, that's when the computer stopped working. So I'm wondering if that's the problem, if that's the issue here. Yeah, it looks like it's been buffering quite a bit today. Because I can look at the peaks in the where it'll go from 80 people to 20 people to 80 people. I wonder if it was buffering for anybody else. Well, you guys were watching stuff. Yeah, buffering, it dropped down to 480p. Went out and came back, it's fine. A lot of buffering. Wow. Well, I hope it's not my computer. I really do. I hope it's not my computer. Let me just look something real quick here. No, strange, but only 40 watching. No, we had a lot more. We had 80 people watching, and then 40 got kicked out. Maybe did a little bit of buffering. Yes, buffering, but I don't want to jinx it. All right. Well, so he's having a good laugh with her instead of serious question. Hey, what's up, SWA223? How you doing? Woke one was crazy. So yeah, that's just. You think a journalist would ask follow up? You're still watching. Yeah. It's good here, no buffering. All right. So, yeah. Woke one was crazy. What was crazy about it exactly, and who was doing the crazy? Yeah. It says 62 on your screen. Yeah, he's been going up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, AOC trying to pull herself out of the woke shit she championed. Oh, yeah, look at this. This is her trying to get out of it. Yeah. This is exactly how she moderates herself while the media goes along with it. Look, the pandemic was crazy, while refusing to ask if she's still for abolishing prisons and defund the police. Pandemic was crazy for everyone. It was mostly crazy for sane people who knew all the masking, isolating, leaving people to die alone in hospitals. Not celebrating graduations or weddings was ridiculous. Great assist by Jonathan Carl. All right, on to story number 3. This is good news. This is good news for everybody. I think it's good news for you. Probably YouTube playing with things, thinks it's YouTube. All right, it's fine now. All right, I hope so. Trump State Department announces 175,000 visas have been yanked. With most of them for criminal activity. It's crazy. Trump cracks down on birthright citizenship and birth tourism with new order.
They've taken birthright citizenship and they've made a joke out of it. And we're actually the only country of size, I think just about the only country, period, that does birthright citizenship. I thought we were going to win it at the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, we had a bad decision, very unfair decision. Our country suffers because of it. And we're ending it a different way.
Mr. President, at the Supreme Court, John Sauer, the Solicitor General, did
hey,
not
none of your
have
business.
an
Great to
answer
see
as
you.
how many individuals take advantage of birth tourism. Is there a number that you can
I'll tell
cite?
you right now, hundreds of thousands, okay? Hundreds of thousands. You have one man came in with a family, said he had 56 children. Another one came in, they said they had 98 children. This was not what it was for. This was meant for the babies of slaves. It was right after 1 week or 2 weeks after the Civil War ended. This wasn't for wealthy multi-millionaires, billionaires coming in and bringing 15, 20, 30 children along with them. It's become a big business, and we're ending that business.
Yep. I will say, not that Karen, be careful. Make sure if you're getting avocados, guacamole, salsa, anything like that, do not get it from Taylor Farms. Remember the company that was responsible for the diarrhea lettuce? They're having issues now with avocados, guacamole, and salsa that they sell to. So be careful. So the State Department announced on Monday it's revoked more than 175,000 visas during Trump's second administration so far. The announcement comes less than 2 years since Trump started his second term. Under President Trump, the United States State Department has revoked more than 175,000 visas from foreign nationals who violated the terms of their visas, committed crimes, called for violence against U.S. citizens, defrauded Americans, abused our immigration system, or endangered national security. Yes, that is great news. It is. It is. Yes. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel too. Like if you haven't already, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, I lost 15 subscribers while I was away for that couple days. It's crazy. Yeah, executive order to defraud Americans instantly followed with zeal. Executive order by Trump to protect Americans casually disobeyed, if not offensively disobeyed. It's crazy. Crazy. Birthright citizenship was put in the Constitution for only one reason, to make former slaves citizens of the country. Yes, that's it. That was the only reason it was there. The only reason. Thank you. What's up? Hit that like button. Hey, Margie, how you doing? Marjorie Smith, good to see you. The majority of these visas were revoked due to law enforcement encounters for a range of criminal activity, with assault, driving under the influence, theft, and drug crimes being the leading causes. A significant share of visas were revoked for reckless driving, sexual assault, child abuse, fraud, embezzlement, and other crimes. How many visas have been granted or are active? A lot. Well, too many. Too many. Stuck with me. I got some stories for you. Okay. All right. No worries, man. No worries. You're kidding. This came from HEB, a wonderful grocery chain in Texas. People come to Houston to buy extra suitcases to take home with their butter tortillas. No. I also unsubscribed, but I changed my mind. Oh, okay. No, I'm saying like there's something called Taylor Farms. Whatever, with the diarrhea lettuce and stuff like that. Whatever the Taylor Farms that makes it, it's not a store per se. They sell it in different stores. You got to be really careful. So, yes, that happens. It does. Britain's retarded. Okay. Oh, I saw that I saw that the other day. That's crazy. The guy was coming out of a store with a baseball bat and basically, how do you lose subs? I don't know. They just unsub. They just unsubscribe for some reason, which you would think it's kind of like, you ever seen a movie Friday and the dad asks Ice Cube, how did you get fired on your day off? Like, how can you lose subs when you're not even streaming people? You couldn't have upset anybody. I love HEB's guac and all their salsa and such. Also, there's butter tortillas in the bakery. Oh, AI bots? It could be. You think it might be sold as a store brand too? Yeah, they do. They do that. What's it called? Custom branding, whatever. Like, the department pointed to some examples of individuals who committed heinous crimes. I did technically get fired on my day off once. Yeah. It indicated some of those individuals whose visas were revoked, including a foreign national who was charged with felony rape and sexual battery, including a victim who was mentally disabled, and a foreign national charged with felony kidnapping, human trafficking, sexual exploitation of a minor. I volunteered at a type of food pantry soup kitchen, and 5 boxes of Taylor Farm salad came through. Gross. Yeah, you got the stuff. I would just throw it away. And a U.S. embassy in North Africa revoked 100 visas for birth tourist parents who came to the United States primarily to give birth to their children and have U.S. citizenship. Good. Under President Trump and Marco Rubio's leadership, the State Department will continue to identify, investigate, and revoke the visas of foreign nationals who threaten the safety of the American people. A U.S. visa is a privilege. It's not a right. The department remains committed to using every tool available to protect our communities from those who will abuse it. That's good news, I think. Epoch Times just says, U.S. government revokes more than 175,000 visas. 175,000 visas. So Trump administration has moved to tighten visa rules and impose higher fees. Last year announced it would revoke visas for people who commit crimes. You would think like that would be like a no-brainer, right? You would think that's a no-brainer. Like someone who commits crimes, we're just going to like automatically like revoke their visas, right? You would think, right? Right? Others who saw their visas revoked included more than 100 people who were part of birth tourist parents schemes. This has been challenged by the Trump administration all the way to Supreme Court. The Trump administration recently tightened rules around issuing visas. The cost was raised to as much as $20,000. They're asking people to post bonds now. You got to post a bond. You want to come here, you got to post a bond. And if you fuck around, you lose your bond. Hey, Lady Bama, what's up, man? Great to see you. Thanks for making it here. So reports going back a decade demonstrate that hundreds of thousands of non-immigrant visitors failed to timely depart in accordance with their terms of their visitor visas. By implementing clear, finite limits on these visas, the United States is reclaiming its ability to properly screen, monitor individuals within our borders. Wow. Oh. It says media too big. I don't know. I don't have Telegram. I would have to open Telegram I'd have to have a Telegram to do that. So Chinese journalists will be limited to 90-day periods in the United States, according to the department. Good. It also wants a shortened stay for foreign journalists to a 240 days. So if you're Chinese, it's 90. Anyone else, it's a little bit longer. So, and this Reuters just says, Trump administration has revoked more than 175,000 visas. It's a good thing. Good thing. So it's the same story. Just the same story. What is this story? This looks interesting. Let's see what this is.
The actual individual that plotted, planned, and I see why the prosecutor would bring him to court if he's able to be held accountable for.
Oh, that's talking about the Tupac. I do have the Tupac Shakur murder case that started today, so we'll see. If we get there. We'll see if we get there. All right. And then since we were talking about health and safety and stuff like food safety and stuff, yeah, Tupac, yeah. In the past, immigrants needed sponsors. Yes. Couldn't find it anywhere else online yet. All right. Yeah, I don't have it. It says I have to download Telegram. I don't like downloading stuff. HHS seeks to tighten oversight of food additives and ingredients. That's right. Bobby Kennedy's doing his MAHA stuff, which is good. A proposed rule seeks to close a decades-old information gap through a mandatory notification program. That's right, man. We need to know. Department of Health and Services, HHS, announced on August 10th that they're going to have a rule to make generally recognized as safe determinations without notifying Food and Drug Administration. So they're going to end a rule that's allowed them to just say, well, it's generally recognized as safe. We don't have to tell people we put it in there. Like, no, you still got to tell us. There's a reason TV shows are called programs. I've been on Telegram since maybe 2020. Huh. Yeah, but I thought, I don't know. Starting September 1st, China is putting new restrictions on visas and recalling many of their citizens. I did hear that China's not, because China needs money. And China doesn't want people to get their money out of the country, so that's what they're doing. They don't want anybody with money being able to leave. A lot of people got on there when they got kicked off all their social media. Okay. All right. All right. Against my better judgment, I just downloaded Telegram. Hi, serious? You're killing me, Smalls. I thought I had a Telegram at one point in time. I don't know. I should have. On Telegram, I can get access to all types of hacked information. It's amazing what's on there. Okay. I followed Tommy Robinson on Telegram when Dorsey deleted him. Oh, wow. I don't know. It's like not letting me do it. Why is it not letting me do this? All right. I guess I had to do this. All right. Oh, here I got it. All right. Colombian construction workers. All right. That was a lot of work. Telegram does have excellent information you can't get anywhere else, and set up a password. All right. I don't know. Take a minute to set up because you have to do it correct. Make sure if you're on a desktop, you download the desktop version. All right. So this would seek to give FDA greater visibility into substances used in human and animal food, enabling us to more efficiently and knowledgeably and timely regulate the safety of our nation's food supply. HHS and the Department of Agriculture submitted for final review the federal government's first definition of ultra-processed foods. That's what HHS Secretary Bobby Kennedy said. These two actions will change how the federal government oversees what Americans eat. Nearly 60% of the Americans' diet is made up of ultra-processed food. We cannot reverse America's chronic disease epidemic without transforming our food system. These historic actions bring greater transparency to what's in our food and stronger science to federal nutrition policy. So, good. Most people assume when there's a new substance added to their food, the FDA knows about it and reviewed its safety. As you've heard, shockingly, this is not the reality. The generally recognized as safe loophole stems from a 1958 exemption allowing food companies to self-affirm the safety of certain food ingredients. I personally think China's recalling many of their spies around the world as the FBI is cracking down on scams. It could be. It's possible. Under the proposed rule, manufacturers must immediately notify the FDA when concluding that additives to human or animal food are generally recognized as safe. Well, that's a good idea, isn't it? I mean, it's what we want, right? If it's we should make them notify us when of anything they're putting in anyway. It shouldn't just be if they think it's safe. It should just be if you're putting it in our food, we should get to know what it is, right? That should be what it is. We should get to know. It shouldn't be like all this stuff. I don't think China is the threat it's made out to be. China is our biggest threat. I'll disagree with you on that. I mean, I value your opinion, but China is the threat. It's the only threat America faces, really. That and radical Islam. Radical Islam and China, they're like right with each other. Anything they're putting in our food, we should know what it is, specifically if it came from petroleum and how much of it they're putting in there. Yeah, I agree. The FDA will also maintain and expand a public-facing database of submitted notices. Secretary Kennedy has brought renewed attention to the food all Americans have been eating. Good. The rule will enter public comment period. So on August 3rd, the FDA submitted a document that proposes a definition of ultra-processed food, which has not been made public yet while it undergoes final review at the White House Office of Management and Budget. Although the research has linked high consumption of ultra-processed foods to preventable chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes and heart disease, the absence of standardized federal definition has limited research consistency across the federal government. Yes, China. By advancing a proposed definition, we seek to create stronger foundation for future nutrition research. I have a weakness for Coca-Cola and cheesecake. Other than that, I do pretty good. Yeah, I like Coca-Cola out of the glass bottle, Mexican Coke or whatever. Real Coke the way it used to be. But I don't drink more than one a day if I even drink it every day. I saw at times I don't drink it every day. The only thing I drink every day is coffee. Every morning I have coffee. Our food is at the top driver of disease, disability, and death. To address these harms, America needs standard national definition. So HHS also encouraged Congress to build on these efforts through legislation. So Pat Acker says, we boosted their economic status when we offshored manufacturing, but how they invested their profits. They have a buttload of people to support. Well, Regina says, I'll make my own cheesecake from scratch. I don't do Coca-Cola, too sweet for me. Okay. RFK proposes to fix the loophole that allows additives in food. Good. I like this. I like that he's doing this stuff.
When it comes to sleeping hot, Ashley has the answer.
Ashley has the answer when it comes to sleeping hot. They don't roll around in the bed and don't do whatnot. Because Ashley Furniture, they make your bed. They'll come to your house and they'll give you a little... Oh, wait. Can't say that. 9 seconds? Come on, let's go Nectar. Anyone have a Nectar bed? I was thinking about trying one of those beds, but I don't know. What's this, a different brand now? Tempur-Pedic?
Telling us to eat less ultra-processed food. But what does that really mean? Well, for the first time, the federal government is defining the term. The definition will help pave the way for new regulations. It'll also close a loophole that allows food manufacturers to add unstudied ingredients into some of your favorite treats. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. spoke about the proposal earlier today.
We're overhauling the generally recognized as safe in the ground.
What? Are you serious? We will no longer be making attack subs until 2035, 2040, whenever the SSNX starts construction, starting with USS Arizona, Hull 403. All Virginia's Block 5s will be SS guided nuclear missiles? Guided missiles? Really? I wonder, what are they doing, Gundam? Are they putting like are they putting like air defense missiles on them, or what kind of missiles are they? Why are they doing this? For like, they can surface and shoot down incoming missiles to protect ships or something?
As standards, for that, and the entire grass framework. We're proposing a rule that would end the practice of companies making grass determinations without notifying the FDA. Second, alongside my friend and colleague, Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins, we submitted for final review the federal government's first definition of ultra-processed foods.
All right, joining us now, NBC News medical contributor Dr. Natalie Azar. Dr. Azar, this has been a top priority for Secretary Kennedy since he took office. What does it mean for the food that we eat and serve our kids every day?
So it probably means a lot that's going to happen, Christine. So this GRAS designation dates back to 1958. Congress introduced it as a way to ensure that there would be some sort of pre-market approval for food additives, but they decided to leave a few things exempt, such as salt and vinegar and flour. And what's happened over the past number of decades is that companies are able to designate their own food additives or whatever they're putting into food, preservatives, emulsifiers, as that GRAS, generally recognized as safe acronym, without actually going through any sort of rigorous regulatory review. And so in doing this and sort of changing this and getting rid of this loophole, the idea here is that what is in our food will be things that are, number one, that have been scrutinized and have been verified for their safety, and they're hoping to increase that kind of transparency for the public.
It is an interesting moment because for decades, the food industry has opposed a formal definition.
Yeah, so when we're talking about the definition of ultra processed, this is something that is actually, I think, most of us probably feel pretty good about, that we do need to have a definition. Look, there are different levels of...
Whoa, wait a minute. The Virginia payload module, which will meet the Navy's requirement for a large-scale land strike missile platform after the 4 Ohio-class guided missile subs are decommissioned. Why are we decommissioning Ohio's? Those things are like the quietest thing out there. Nobody can find them. Like, the only way to find them is you got to look for a spot in the ocean that makes no sound, that nothing comes from, because it's just like a black hole. Is it an issue? What's the problem? I mean, we still aren't those still our only? I don't know. Maybe those are like the cream of the crop submarines. There's nothing better than an Ohio class submarine. Why would they get rid of those? They work great. Eat less ultra processed food, so eat salad and end up in the hospital. Yeah. Yes, finally we have an HHS secretary truly interested in the health of Americans.
Food processing. If you have a bag of frozen broccoli, that is somewhat processed, but that is considered healthy by pretty much everybody. But we're really talking about those ultra processed foods, things like the things I always tell viewers and tell my patients: if you can't recognize the first 3 ingredients, or if the entire food has more than 5 ingredients, you probably are in that ultra processed zone, the area, again, with those preservatives and emulsifiers, things that are probably not adding any nutritional value, and potentially are harming you medically.
I mean, I guess the hope is that this means for the future trips to the grocery store that we have more healthy options, right? Fewer super high processed options. That's been the real goal of the Make America Healthy, at least the nutrition part of the Make It Healthy, the MAHA movement.
Yeah, it is, Christine. And I think it's important that this GRAS designation, for example, or whether something's ultra processed, these are not going to be consumer facing labels. So it's not something that I think the average person at the grocery store will recognize immediately. But certainly with the ultra processed food definition, that's going to inform public health policy. It's going to inform dietary guidelines. This is going to take a little while, I think, for all us as consumers, to recognize and potentially reap the benefits, but it's all going in the right direction. I do just have to mention, though, we still have to say that these are all very, very good things, but important to remember too that, over 1 million children lost their SNAP food benefits, et cetera. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it's SNAP benefits. Yeah, SNAP benefits is a problem. So keeping an ingredient GRAS does not necessarily make it so, and the FDA has banned certain ingredients. So over time, the exemptions become a loophole. This is good. Yeah, look at that. Twinkies, Hostess, Zingers, Ding Dongs. What were those other ones called? The round ones. Ho-hos. I used to love ho-hos. I used to love me some ho-hos. But, not anymore. I haven't seen ho-hos. Has anyone seen ho-hos in the store lately? I haven't. I haven't seen them anywhere. I used to love them. They're not there. So you got zingers, cupcakes, Twinkies, coffee. What's up, buddy? Who? All right, hold on. Hold on one second. I will be right back. Jim is on his squirrel. Yeah, I don't know. 1 second here.
Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support. Please press the like button for Bella. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for your support.
Sorry. You relax. Just sit there. All right. First 4 Ohio's were converted. She has to keep the fleet numbers up. Okay. All right. Play the solar thing. I would have. I just got sidetracked. What a precious voice for Bella. Thank you. All right. So the sound loop is too short on this. Otherwise, it's extremely cute. All right. Okay. Now make it stop. I'm sorry. I apologize. So they're getting the food stuff taken care of. So data is going to be submitted about the ingredients and the food supply. It has to be enough for us to see what's safe. And it can't just be the name of ingredient and its uses. Sorry, mute the sound, folks. Sorry. No, my something's going on. My grandson came in looking for his mom, and she took the other grandson for a ride in the Jeep. And anyway, so Congress should act this year to establish national uniform science-based framework. And then we got some bad news. I just learned about this next story. You guys remember Cooter from the Dukes of Hazzard? He was a congressman, Ben Jones. He died at 84. So Dukes of Hazzard star Ben Jones has died. Jones had a massive heart attack at his home Sunday in Washington, Virginia, as he was waiting to watch the Atlanta Braves play baseball. The couple has been married since 1992. Oh, Cooter. Remember Cooter? Cooter's Garage. So, I lost the love of my life. Ben passed away from a massive heart attack. He was home resting in his favorite chair waiting for the Braves to come on. Let's see. Could you guys name all these people on this picture? Let's see. You got Roscoe P. Coltrane. You got Bo and Luke Duke. You got Daisy Duke. There's Cooter. There's Uncle Jesse, Boss Hogg, and I believe that's Cletus. All right. And then what was the dog's name? Anyone remember the dog's name? He also appeared in Nashville 99 and The Magical World of Disney. He reprised his role in the Dukes of Hazzard reunion in 1997 and the Dukes of Hazzard in Hollywood in 2000. Yes, rest in peace. Flash. What? What about Flash? Hey, James, get off the dog. James, get off the dog. Get off Bella. Go sit over here. Come on. You have to go. Go sit outside and watch TV. Wait till your mom does. All right. So, yeah, he passed away. Well. Roscoe P. Coltrane. He served 2 terms in the House of Representatives from 89 to 93. Oh, that's a... Enos. Oh, was that Enos? What was that? Was that his name? Enos, not Cletus? All right. So I got the name. I got a mixed one. The dog's name was Flash. Okay, that's right. The dog's name was Flash. Yeah, all right. You never watched it either. Okay. Well. So, all right. Well, I just wanted to acknowledge that that he passed away. That's all. So let's get to this other story. Yeehaw! So Trump signs order on childhood vaccination recommendations citing autism. I loved watching the Dukes of Hazzard. Yes. No, that's Cletus. You were right. Okay. Bella's drinking some water right now. Kids on the loose. Yeah, there's a kid on the loose running around right now. So President Trump signed an executive order on Monday laying out new recommendations for childhood vaccinations. And during his remarks, he mentioned that autism had a role. Enos was the nice deputy. Okay. The other order recommendation. Come on, get down. You can't be under there. Come on, please. Because you can't be crawling around down there. Shots like RSV and hepatitis A and B are examples of vaccinations that would just be recommended for high-risk children. It would also suggest that measles, mumps, rubella, known as MMR, should be given as 3 separate shots, and that when possible, children should be vaccinated in separate visits. So Merck stopped making the standalone measles, mumps, and rubella vaccines in 2009. There's no licensed version in the country. No company has said it's building one. Please stop. What are you doing? Leave that closed. Why? Because it's not for your. It's not yours. Stop, please. No, you don't need that. Put it away. Come on. It's not yours, please.
I want one.
No, you don't need one. I'll give you a different one. I'll give you a different one. Here. No, not that one. Stop. No, this one doesn't make noise. Stop.
It does make noise.
Please stop. Please stop.
I want it.
No.
I don't want to make noise.
No.
Why? I want to say
No. You think I was right on it? But get down. Do not climb up there. Get down. Get down. Do not climb up there. All right. I'll be right back. 1 second. Hold on. Sorry, everybody. My grandson is on a tear tonight. Oh my God. And he's in there just getting into everything, opening boxes, pulling out computer parts and stuff. And like, what's this? I want this. I want this. I want this. So they warn that splitting the shot has been tried in the past. Japan split the shots in the 90s. Mumps vaccines there fell to about a third of children. And doctors documented hundreds of kids who lost their hearing. So, executive order obtained by CBS News before the president signed it also directed HHS to reassess vaccine sequencing and timing within 90 days. Today, we're proud to officially announce the United States of America is gold standard for vaccine recommendations and has to do many shots. Okay, let's see here. Is Trump actually talking? Let's see. Here's Trump actually talking about it, I guess.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Reiser. Let's take you to the Oval Office. President Trump just started speaking a moment ago about an executive order regarding childhood vaccines,
including autism in particular. I want to thank the man who has done more than perhaps anyone else to bring about this real revolution, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., my friend, and he's doing a fantastic job. I'm proud of you. Give me a very powerful hand to use. Strong guy, by the way. Thanks as well to Director of the NIH, Jay Bhattacharya, Deputy Assistant to the President of Domestic Policy, Dr. Heidi Overton, our moms, and including Jamie Franklin, who's with us today, a very special person, and also the medical experts and professionals who've worked very hard on getting this to happen, this day to come. For long and far too long, a long period of time, America's recommended more childhood vaccines than any peer nation, and even twice as many doses as some European countries, and even more than that. In many cases, we were requiring 72 jabs for our beautiful, healthy, lovely, delicate little children, including giving the hepatitis B shot to infants and newborns on top of many other vaccinations. The hepatitis B shouldn't be given until they're 14 or 15 years old. They were given early. Effective immediately, my administration is recognizing gold standard childhood vaccine recommendations for only 11 core vaccinations against the most serious and dangerous diseases, along with the MMR, which hopefully will be split up. You have the MMR, we want it in 3 separate vaccinations given at separate times. Together, there could be a possibility they're quite lethal, and separately, it looks like they are not at all lethal, but just very effective. So the MMR, we want to have separate visits, separate times. The vaccine being broken into 3 separate single doses, and vaccines being administered in separate visits. For example, at 1 year, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than getting them all in the same day. And I saw this early on, and I've seen proof of it, where they have a vaccination that looks like the size of a bottle of soda poured into a little child's body. And bad things happen in many cases, in too many cases, because this is an explosion. This is an epidemic. So at year 1, you should have 5 separate visits for vaccines rather than giving them all in the same day. Very importantly, vaccinations for hepatitis B, COVID-19, and influenza, among others, are no longer recommended for all children. In addition, this executive order directs the Attorney General to advance legal challenges against states that violate children's rights to religious or medical vaccination exemptions for the exemptions. Other countries with high vaccination rates without mandates for school, what we do is, other countries have very high vaccination rates, and they have not had, and they don't have, without mandates for school. Parents can still choose to give their children all of the vaccinations if they wish. It's up to the parents. We're making recommendations that are strong, but it's up to the parents if they wish, and they will be covered by insurance. However, this updated recommendation finally aligns the United States with other advanced and developed nations around the world. More importantly, it aligns us with common sense and knowledge. Decades ago, children received only a small fraction of the vaccines required today. In those times, people were much healthier, and of course, the high rates of autism now observed did not exist. So there's a reason for such epidemic rates of autism, and we're going to bring it back to much closer to where it was. Well, we do not know exactly what the cause is with respect to autism. It is essential to our research efforts that we have the very best vaccine recommendations in the entire world. So we're reducing them. We're changing it to visits over a period of a year and a half. So they get 20% of what they would have gotten in one big shot, a big shot like the size of a large glass of something. This announcement is a major victory for parents' rights, for religious and constitutional rights, and for the gold standard science. And we will continue to do the research and update the recommendations as we learn more. And I think you're going to see some amazing results. I'm breaking it up. It's not only that you're doing fewer vaccines or jabs, as they say, but you're doing them in a series of visits to the doctor, much smaller amounts. To ensure Americans benefit from these recommendations, my administration is fully committed to using every tool at our disposal, including a review of potential funding and finding. Frankly, we're doing funding and we're doing findings. And the findings will be announced almost immediately as we gain some strong surety. So now I'd like to have Bobby say a few words, followed by Jay, Heidi, and Jamie, and then I'll sign the executive order, which I'm very excited about, because I came in and I said, I want to find what's going on with autism. It's many, many times what it used to be years ago, and it gets progressively worse, and we add progressively more and more vaccines. So in a nutshell, and you can see it through this, we're breaking up the vaccines, or we're breaking them up into time periods. Okay, not so complicated. And we think we're going to have a tremendous result from doing that. Very simply, large amounts of vaccine, large amounts of like vats of vaccine are currently pumped into your child's body.
Oh.
And we're doing 20% of that at each visit. And we'll let time elapse between visits so the body can handle this massive amount of fluid being pumped in. I think it's going to make a big difference. You know, there are some groups that have virtually no problem with autism. And they, you know, I have to say this, they're groups that aren't big into the world of vaccines. So there's something wrong when we see record numbers all the time, every year for years and years. Every year gets higher, higher, higher autism. And we think we have a very good recommendation, and a lot of good things are happening. We're going to be releasing some very detailed paper. Here's another one, European countries versus the United States. Look at that. These are high level, very medically powerful European countries. You see the top, that little chart says a lot, but that's the difference. So with that, I'd like to have Bobby say a few words, please, and then we'll go to the others. Please, Bobby.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to start by just reinforcing.
Wow, who is this standing behind Trump on his over his right shoulder? Is that his granddaughter, Kaya, the girl? Who is that?
Something the president
No, that's not her. Who is
said,
that?
which is the source of his concern about this issue. And I'll just give an example. In 1970, the biggest epidemiological study at that time in history was performed. And the university scientists from across this country looked at all the 8-year-olds in Wisconsin, about 900,000 children. And they were looking for autism, and they knew what autism looked like. And they came back with an incident.
He's a Maha mom.
0.8 per 10,000. So less than 1 in 10,000. The rate, according to CDC today in this country, is 1 in every 31 children. In California, it's 1 in every 19 children, 1 in every 12.5 boys. So there has been a dramatic increase. One of the things that the industry likes to say, one of the talking points, which the press loves to parrot, is, oh, we're just noticing it more. But this is an absurdity, and this is an assertion that has been debunked again and again and again by peer-reviewed literature. But it's also debunked by common sense. Because if we were just noticing it more, we would notice it in older groups, but we're not. We're only noticing it in kids who were born around 1989 or after. The older generations, you're not seeing those increases. So something happened in the mid-90s that changed our children, and it has to be an environmental exposure. Because genes don't cause epidemics. They can provide a vulnerability, but you need an environmental toxin. And what the president has charged us with is finding which one of those exposures or which collection of exposures are causing this epidemic. For decades, I fought for a simple principle. When it comes to the health of our children, government has an obligation to follow the evidence wherever it leads. Tell the American people the truth and give parents the information they need to make informed decisions for their families. Mr. President, you gave us a mandate to do just that. You directed HHS to examine America's childhood vaccine recommendations against the best available science and the practices of other developed nations. We did that work, and on January 5th, HHS and CDC overhauled the childhood immunization schedule, reducing the number of diseases universally recommended for vaccines from 17 to 11, and establishing distinct categories of recommendations based upon the scientific evidence. Our assessment found that the United States recommended more childhood vaccines than any other peer nation President Trump mentioned the number that's 72 jabs before 18, but it actually could be up to 94 jabs. And nobody else has anything like that. And then many other countries, or most other countries, achieve high vaccination rates through education, informed consent, and public trust rather than mandates. Today, with this executive order, you are building on that work and acting on that evidence. We will preserve access to vaccines, strengthen safety monitoring, expand research, give doctors and parents better information, and restore informed consent and parental choice to their rightful place in American medicine. At HHS, we are already moving across multiple agencies, FDA, CDC.
Was there an earthquake in Colombia or something? What's going on in Colombia? 132 dead, 570 wounded and climbing. Among the collapsed structures were pediatric and neonatal sections of a hospital in Cali. Was it a bombing? What happened in Colombia? Oh, okay. There was an earthquake in Colombia. Okay. All right. Okay, all right, I got it. Now, Colombia, there was an earthquake. Okay, earthquake. All right, earthquake. All right. I was wondering.
The NIH, ARPA-H, NTP, the National Toxicity Program, and other parts of the department, we have already launched unprecedented research effort examining vaccine safety and long-term health outcomes in American children. We are putting some of the largest health data sets in the country to work, including CDC's Vaccine Safety Data Link, FDA's BEST systems, and other major federal and private health data sources. We're pursuing dozens of studies and analyses. We are comparing health outcomes in vaccinated versus unvaccinated children. We're examining aluminum adjuvants, the timing of the hepatitis B vaccine, vaccines administered during pregnancy, and outcomes ranging from allergies to autoimmune disease to autism and other neurodevelopmental disorders.
Well, this is great news. I'm glad somebody's doing something. I think this will make a difference. Yeah. So just a quick update on the jalapeno. It's on at Taylor Farms. Now they're recalling, this was just announced at 7:30, so an hour and a half ago. They're recalling jalapeno products that are sold at Walmart and Target over a salmonella risk. So Taylor Farms, the agricultural giant whose lettuce has been linked to the deadly Cyclospora outbreak, is recalling several prepared products made with jalapenos amid a salmonella outbreak. Products, which include pico de gallo, salsa, guacamole, were distributed to national retailers, including Walmart and Target in 26 states. Taylor Farms said it isn't aware of any reported illnesses linked to the virus. So Taylor Farms said it voluntarily recalled the prepared foods after Coast Citrus Distributors, which had provided the company with its peppers, recalled its fresh jalapenos due to salmonella concerns. A grower in Sinaloa, Mexico. Sinaloa, huh? Is this the cartel getting back at us? Taylor Fresh Foods is no longer sourcing products from its farmer and will be filling orders from alternative suppliers. Guess we won't be sending illegals back to Colombia. No, they need to go back and help. There's no reason. Just because there's an earthquake, that doesn't mean anything.
Outbreak much farther than it would if it were just.
An outbreak is now recalling something else: jalapeno pepper products, including from some of your this summer's lettuce-related parasite. Company linked to this summer's lettuce-related parasite outbreak is now recalling something else: jalapeno pepper products, including from some of your favorite stores, after new concerns now about salmonella. Our Tom Hansen reports.
Taylor Farms is now voluntarily recalling products containing jalapenos potentially contaminated with the dangerous and potentially deadly bacteria, salmonella. The company says the products were distributed to major grocery chains, including Whole Foods, Walmart, and Kroger in at least 26 states, with best if used by dates up to August 16th. The products include salsa, guacamole, and various dips, which contain Mexican jalapenos sourced from Coast Citrus Distributors, a wholesale fresh produce supplier and the suspected source of the outbreak. This comes after the food company flagged various meat products containing jalapenos over the weekend.
Any ingredient
that goes into lots of different foods has the potential to spread an outbreak much farther than it would if it were just being sold in its whole form. And that would be true of jalapeno peppers that are chopped up and then put in things like sausage or salsa.
I want to also point out too that I just saw a report like in the last week or so that we pulled all our inspectors out of Sinaloa and these other areas out of fears because of cartel violence. So are these things related? Could be.
In a statement, Taylor Farms said it is no longer sourcing products from this farmer and will be filling orders from alternative suppliers. Federal health officials were first alerted to the salmonella outbreak after more than 100 people fell ill in Minnesota, most of whom reported eating at Chipotle or Qdoba restaurants. Since then, the outbreak has spread to at least 345 salmonella cases, with 36 hospitalizations, according to the FDA. Chipotle switched to a different jalapeno supplier, and Qdoba stopped selling the peppers altogether.
If you want to be much safer, the thing to do is to cook your produce.
And Tony, this jalapeno recall comes 1 month after Taylor Farms voluntarily recalled iceberg lettuce sourced from Mexico over concerns about cyclosporiasis. Nearly 300 people were hospitalized and 2 deaths were linked to that outbreak, Tony.
Tom.
Okay, so that's going on. All right, now here's some earthquake stuff. Video show impact of a strong earthquake in Colombia. Warning, warning. They do seem to be increasing, Anne-Marie. They do seem to be increasing. Oh, part of that church just fell, huh? Oh. Wow. Search for survivors. Deadly earthquake hits Colombia. While death toll surpasses 100, Colombian president says. Wow. Let's see.
Tonight, a powerful and deadly 7.4 magnitude earthquake wreaking havoc in western Colombia, taking so many by surprise when it struck early this morning, reducing homes and buildings to rubble. Passengers at this airport holding pillars, bracing during the moment of impact. One man screaming as the shaking intensifies. Outside this hospital in Cali, part of the building collapsing on an ambulance as patients scramble for safety. This woman narrowly escaping falling concrete. Churches damaged across the region, including this one. Watch the cross collapsing from its spire. Now, the urgent search for survivors. Rescue teams removing debris and working quickly to find those still trapped. Authorities say more than 100 people have died. Valerie Ryan from our NBC Miami station is in Bogota.
I was sleeping and I remember the bed shaking back and forth. It was really long. And it's scary because in that moment you have this feeling of, I cannot control this.
The epicenter of the quake, San Jose de Palmar. Nearly 70 miles away in Pereira, people frantically running. In Medellin, Sam Simpson says her family ran for safety.
I am shaking so hard right now. An earthquake just hit.
And recorded this video moments after they felt their high-rise shake.
So we just grabbed our dogs and held on, and the building was swaying so much. It really felt like it was going to crack.
Tonight, Simpson and her family still reeling as everyone fears if more is on the way.
You know, it's really hard.
Tonight, the focus remains on the search for survivors. Colombia's president says 6 of the country's airports are closed from damage, which will only make getting critical aid into the country that much harder. Tom?
A desperate situation there. George Solis for us.
All right, a powerful, deadly earthquake has struck South America for the second time in just over a month. The 7.4 magnitude quake hit Colombia this morning, about 250 miles west of Bogota. Moments ago, Colombia's president said 111 people have been killed. Dozens of buildings have been damaged in several cities. Video captured the moment that one building collapsed and sent people running. Unbelievable images to see there. A massive search and rescue effort is underway right now. It's coming after the earthquakes that devastated Venezuela in late June, killing thousands of people. I want to bring in NBC News correspondent George Solis, who's standing by for us. George, what more are we learning about the situation on the ground in Colombia right now?
Colombia.
Yeah, Yasmin, good afternoon. It is absolutely devastating. Colombia's president getting on TV a little bit ago to update that death toll number. Again, more than 100 lives now lost. And unfortunately, they expect that number to continue climbing. Unfortunately, some children included in that death toll. Right now, you have multiple municipalities and governors and leaders trying to establish contact with people on the ground to make sure that they are able to connect with loved ones. Of course, the mobilization of resources is happening right now. All of it unfolding in real time as they try to get a full grasp of this damage. And of course, a lot of the airports in and around the epicenter are also impacted. So getting aid into the country is certainly going to be a priority right now. Earlier this morning, I spoke with an American woman who lives in Colombia full time. She's in Medellin. She described the building shaking. She was in a high rise. She was there with her husband and their pets. Absolutely horrific. And again, they were still pretty considerably way out from the epicenter. But again, just based on some of the images that you're seeing, you know the extensive cleanup here is just getting started.
A way to save lives is getting those crucial resources in. Do we have a timeline on that, George?
Not as of yet. We do know that obviously multiple agencies, including the State Department, already briefed on this and working on getting mobilization of resources into the country because they are sorely going to need it. Yasmin.
Okay, AI says there's not an increase. I think we already saw this video, so let me see. We already saw this one, I believe. Search for survivors underway.
With breaking news out of Western Colombia, a 7.4 magnitude earthquake rattled the region earlier today. This new video just in, buildings reduced to piles of rubble. The frantic search for survivors now underway. It's unclear just how many people are hurt, but local officials say there are serious injuries.
Grizzle McThornbody, you see that, numerology. 111 people died so far. Fauci invoked the fifth 111 times. Coincidence? Think not.
The epicenter struck about 250 miles west of Colombia's capital, Bogota. Shaking could be felt across the region from Panama to Venezuela. Joining us now, NBC News correspondent George Solis. George, what do you know so far?
Christine, it's a developing situation. The images that are coming out of the area right now are absolutely horrific. There have been buildings that have crumbled. We have seen people being treated on the streets there in so many of these towns. You see there, it's a church steeple there on its side. There are buildings that have been reduced to rubble. Right now, we're hearing about as much as 20 buildings in Cali, there in Western Colombia, that were completely demolished. And Reuters reporting about 18 deaths in Pereira, a small city about 6 hours from Cali. So again, it gives you a sense of just how far and how the magnitude of this quake was. Right now, a number of officials are on television briefing with local media there on the ground, giving advice to people, telling them where to reunite with loved ones, telling them where they can get help right now as resources are quickly starting to mobilize to get help to the region. We did hear from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota saying it's monitoring the earthquake right now and to continue monitoring local news and to inform friends and family. As we know, so many people visit Colombia. They have friends, they have families there, so they're all being checked in on right now. A number of us also have family and friends that are there right now, so we're checking in on them right now. And just really, really quickly, we're hearing about disruptions, of course, to the airports right now, given the size of this earthquake. But again, this is all still so early and developing, and we'll continue following it as more developments come, Christine.
Okay. Well, we'll keep monitoring it and see what happens. Yes. Sudden switch to Mexican accent, fake and gay. Yeah. I was in a earthquake in, was it 1989? I was in San Jose, California. I think it was called the Loma Prieta quake. It was epicenter was in Los Gatos in the mountains. And there was a World Series going on. And the San Francisco Giants were playing. And it was scary, man. It was scary. It bounced me off the walls of the house. Bang, bang, bang. It was scary. It was rough. It was like a 7-something, 7.2, 7.4, something like that. It was bad. Big quake. Piece of the Bay Bridge collapsed. There was reports at the time, all types of reports we were hearing that, you know, like they said that the Golden Gate Bridge collapsed at one point, but it didn't. We lived in Indiana growing up. We would have earthquakes, not very powerful though. Yeah. It's crazy. Like I was outside once too. It wasn't a big, it was like a 5-something. I was outside on a soccer field and you could see it looked like the ground looked like ocean almost, like rolling. Can't they say Colombia in American? And the plates and glasses would shake. Yeah. So Abdul El Sayed advocates for Sharia law in the U.S. compared to Oklahoma's anti-Sharia amendment to the Trail of Tears. So if you don't want Sharia law in the U.S., you're killing Indians. I need to check on my people in Costa Rica. There's volcanoes there. Yes. Liquefaction. Yeah. Oh, look at this. So Michigan's Democrat Senate nominee wants Americans to believe that opposition to Sharia in state courts belong in the same historical indictment as some of the darkest crimes in America. So they want Sharia law. They want Sharia courts. This guy wants Sharia courts. So that's not a paraphrase. It's unmistakable thrust of his remarks. Speaking to the Oklahoma chapter of CARE, which is an unindicted co-conspirator for the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, just saying, he then invoked, and the Holy Land Foundation, yes, that's CARE. He then invoked white supremacy and said the same exact forces were behind Native American removals and destruction of Black Wall Street, which is not a real story. The Oklahoma City bombing and Oklahoma's attempt to bar courts from considering Sharia law. We have one law. It's the law of the United States Constitution. Courts cannot recognize your religious. And all they're proving is that Islam is not a religion. It's a fucking political movement for politics and power. So he insists that bans on Sharia stem from bigotry. Yet Sharia, as practiced in Iran, Afghanistan, and under the Taliban and other regimes, systematically subordinates women, criminalizes apostasy, and criminalizes blasphemy and rejects the foundational equality of the American constitutional order. El Sayed has denied that imposing Sharia is his goal and claims an allegiance to the separation of church and state, but his 2022 performance at CARE reveals the instinct to treat any legal firewall against Islamic law as illegitimate and rooted in white supremacy. Yes, and they want to replace our Constitution with their bullshit. That's what they want. The House Judiciary Subcommittee held a hearing entitled Sharia Free America, Why Political Islam and Sharia Law Are Incompatible with the U.S. Constitution. While news of the hearing focused on Marco Hunter Lopez, it took place as part of a larger initiative led by Representative Keith Self and Chip Roy, who established that Sharia Free America caucus late last year. Well, good. Hearing explored compatibility of Sharia law. It's not compatible. It is not compatible. at all. It is not compatible at all. It's not, you know. And here's why. A brave Iranian Christian Sharia survivor goes berserk on the city council over proposed Islamic center. You're going to regret not listening to people like us who have lived under Sharia law. They're allowed to lie to us. Yeah, it's called taqiyya. He's just throwing every racial smear he can think of, isn't he? Oh yeah, that's how they do. That's how they do. A brave Christian migrant who survived Sharia law in Iran walked straight up to McKinney City Council, delivered a blistering, unfiltered warning that had the chamber erupting. Eddie Issa, also referred as Eri Issa, Edwin Shagoli, an Iranian-born Christian and self-described Sharia law survivor, stood before the packed house. I am a Sharia survivor from Iran, and I'm telling you this is a bad idea, and you're going to regret not listening to people. Not to be confused with taquito. Yes, taquitos are delicious little rolled tacos that you eat. They're delicious. El-Sayed hasn't been elected yet. Well, no, but he's got the Democrat nomination. I'm a severe Sharia survivor, and you're gonna regret not listening to people like me, he says. Let me be clear. Christianity is a personal relationship with God. Islam is Sharia law, religion and state, which is not compatible with the American thing. Level 2 is what's happening in the UK right now, where you have two-tier policing, where you have the blasphemy laws, Islamophobia, racism, and all the nonsense that they talk about. Yeah, that's what's happening. That is what happening. That is what is happening. That is what is happening. Wait a minute. I know I saw it. Where was it? Oh, yeah, there it is. So here he is. Let's listen to him.
Hello, my name is Eddie Issa. I'm a Sharia law survivor from Iran. And I'm here to tell you, this is a dangerous ideology you're allowing in your country. Every country that is Islamic now, it used to be a Christian country. And we were soft Christians, and we allowed these people to come in, bring their Sharia law into their countries and slowly kill us off left and right. Let me make it very clear to you. Christianity is a personal relationship with God, where it says, render unto Caesar's what is Caesar's, render unto God what is God's. Islam is Sharia law, deen wa dawah, religion and state, which is not even compatible with the American thing. And when these people will use taqiyya to lie to you, to manipulate you, because whenever Islam is little, they will lie to you and tell you they come in peace. This is level 1. Level 2 is what's happening in UK right now, where you have two-tier policing, where you have like the blasphemy laws, Islamophobia, racism, all this nonsense that they talk about. First of all, Islam is not a race. So anytime you criticize Islam, they will use the race card. But every country has this disgusting ideology inside their country, including my own country, Iran, Russia. Islamophobia is another made-up bullshit because they don't want you to criticize their death cult. That's why they will put that. That's why they push it in UK. In every country they go to. M103 is in Canada right now. They deliberately try to silence us. And the worst people that are trapped in it is Muslims themselves, because they can't leave that death cult, because they're told if you question that disgusting book, you're called a kufar, and they get killed over it, just like my friends who are apostates in prison or dead right now in Iran. I'm telling you, this is a bad idea, and you're going to regret not listening to people like us who lived under Sharia law.
Thank you, Eddie.
That's a very, very, very interesting thing. Very, very interesting. I hope I hope people wake up before it's too late. Otherwise, we're going to end up like this right here. UK police tackle a man carrying a sealed baseball bat after leaving a store. This guy went into a store, bought a baseball bat in the store, walked out of the store, and the police tackled him and arrested him for having a weapon. Yes, get all the hero white liberal women, send them to Iran and Afghanistan. Problem solved. Islamophobia equals anti-Semitism. Yeah. Same. Footage shows an officer approached a man before taking him to the ground while members of the public gather nearby, and a motorcycle officer arrives at the scene. So a man carrying a factory-sealed baseball bat was tackled to the ground by a UK police officer after the officer confronted him in public. The incident drew attention to Tommy Robinson, who shared the video. Absolute state of this: young lad purchased a bat in modern England. As soon as he leaves the store, police grab him for carrying a weapon. The bat's literally still in the plastic cover.
From there, you fucking mate. Why are you filming it? I'm meeting my friends.
Do video, mate. Videos on town.
Hey, protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect yourself. Mate, what have I done? Policeman out here. What's happening?
He's got.
Hey, don't.
I'm not fucking shocking. Don't. Is it out of his package?
Oh, look at that English. Look at the Englishman arresting the other Englishman. That's weird. So they brought a foreigner to their country to arrest an Englishman for purchasing a baseball bat at a store. That was in Texas. The measure passed. Even after all that, we have a suicide fetish. I've seen Syria in living color. Believe me, women don't want to shit here. Yeah. 2 arrested for shooting at the Secretary of State spokesman's house. I saw that. That's crazy. That's a crazy story, but this is just nuts.
Is it out of his package? Is it out of his package? It's in package, you idiot. It's in package, you idiot. It's in package, you idiot. You idiot. It's in package. It's in the package, fella. It's in the package, you idiot. Hey. It's in the package, you idiot. It's in the package, you idiot. Hey, what's the step he's got in the package? And is it the simple that you love it? No, it's in the package. It's in the package. No, it's in the package. It's in the package.
Spraying him.
Fucking moron, bro. You stupid cunt. Stupid cunt you have, mate.
Package, though. On the ground.
Yeah. That's what you can do. That's what you can do the best.
Stupid
That's what you can do the best.
It's in the package.
It's in the package, you idiot.
It's in the package. It's in the package. It's in the package, fella.
It's in the package, you idiot.
Hey, fella, it's in the package.
It's in the package, you idiot. It's in the package, you idiot.
It's in the package.
Yeah, just have a piss on that. Have a piss on that.
Yeah, it's all on camera. It's all social media, fella.
It's not that from this
Just
store.
bought it.
This fucking foreigner
You
guy.
just bought it. It's in the package. You all can see it. It's in the package. It's in the package.
It's in the package, you idiot.
Just hold it in the shop.
Yeah, go on. Let's go. Yeah, of course. Yeah, the camera again. Yeah.
It's in the
Yeah,
package.
go on the way. Yeah. You guys forward.
It's in the package. You just bought it.
I wonder how many.
Package you both know.
Who's back?
No.
It's in the package. Seller.
Yeah.
Who's back? I said. Whoa. Who's back? Listen to what I'm saying.
Because of what?
Because you're obstructing an officer.
What obstructing? You're obstructing the law, you
It's in
idiot.
the package, fella. You can see it's in the package.
It's in the package, you idiot. So, officer, you can push the people, but nobody can smash your face, innit? That's okay. That's okay. Because they fucking, you know what I mean? They for us, they are for us. And that's never happened. Never in your life happened. Never. When they stole my car, they were like, you need to come to the fucking police station. They didn't. They didn't. This company.
Trump's not anywhere. Exercising my right to walk on the fucking street. The part that's in the package for the first part of my fucking bag. What do you think I'm using it for?
He just bought it from a shop and he walked up the shop. He just said he's got a receipt for it. He's got a receipt for it.
Look into the plastic packaging. Look, what's that?
Fucking reason what a goon. Wow.
It's not how you sit down and grill it.
You should just give you the head on the
Yeah, this is the West. This is the West. Wow. The West is lost. England is lost. England is fucking lost. Wow. I'll tell you what's not lost, folks. What's not lost is your hunger. If you have a hunger pains and you'd like to eat something good and healthy, something that tastes great, it's American made, all right? It's American made, okay? It comes with 50% protein. Comes with a little spice if you want a little spice. If you want a lot of spice, you can get a lot of spice. Go to King of Biltong over there at www.biltongusa.com. Use promo code Jim to save 10%. Yeah. You can get the Carolina Reaper or the Ghost Pepper, Peri Peri. Yeah, you can get the Drawers or the Cabanassi sausage. They also have other cakes, candies, snacks, and cookies that you can get over at biltongusa.com. Those 8-ounce bags make excellent gifts. Get yourself some good, fresh meat. Prepared daily. In-house. All raised in Texas. Wagyu Angus. Shipped straight to your door. Fast and courteous. So check them out. Tell them Jim sent you. Never give up your guns. That's right. Never give up your guns. Never give up your guns. What a waste of resources. Well, they're wasting a lot of resources over there. They have to do something. They have to do something because they're not doing anything about all the rapes, so they got to do something. What a hero. Our cops do crap like that, too, for reference to COVID enforcement. Oh, yeah, it happens all the time. Happens all the time. It does. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. For Nigerian Christians, mass burials have become a way of life. Wow. They should just have some of those British cops there with they'd surely arrest the people that got killed. For more than a decade, the Christian communities across Nigeria's Middle Belt, Plateau State, and Kandua have gathered repeatedly to bury victims of genocide carried out by the Fulani militants, with some burials themselves coming under fire. In just the last 6 months, Nigerian security monitors have reported thousands of nationwide killings. In May, armed militias attacked Nabra Zonga village in Plateau State Kwal district. Shortly after midnight, killed 11 people. Days later, mourners gathered in Nanding-sensitive community, Barki-Ladi government area to bury 7 relatives killed the night before when gunmen attacked the county. Later that month, attackers returned to Bokos on consecutive days. The government chairman had confirmed over 40 killed. On June 2nd, they held a mass burial for 8 people killed. Then 25 were killed in mid-July. Comrade Joshua Raphael speaking by phone. Well, that sounds like a communist to me, comrade. Joe can't remember a time when someone was arrested for buying a bat. Not in America. Not in America. Not in America. Wow. So, killings were a criminality, not a reprisal attack or a boundary dispute. So it's a crime, just crimes. There was 5,091 killings across Nigeria between April and June. 5,000 killings, April, May, June, 3 months, 5,000 killings. 2,600 were unarmed civilians. Wow. According to Open Doors, 3,490 Christians were killed for their faith in Nigeria between October 2024 and September 2025. So less than a year, about a year, almost 3,000 Christians. 72% of the 4,800 Christians killed worldwide during that period were from Nigeria. Wow. This is crazy. New York City Billionaires Row Tower, where it's raining chunks of concrete, is losing value fast. It's too dangerous. As drones circle the 1,396-foot tower and repair work begins at 432 Park Avenue, the 94th floor skypad has sold for $22 million. Gimme Shelter has learned a stunning come down from its original $33 million ask 2 years ago, and a $3.75 million gut punch from the price it went into contract earlier this month. The seller is a trust linked to the late teen science prodigy turned philanthropist Roy T. Edelman, founder of the Spectrum Labs, who paid $31 million for the half-floor spread in 2019. Edelman died in 2022 at the age of 82. The $22 million closing is lower than anyone wanted, but a half a Florida building hasn't sold since 2024. This is a new market reality. Wow, concrete's just falling off the building. Close-up cracks of the concrete structure. Well, that's not good. One broker with the sales said a hit like this barely stings for an owner in that tax bracket. Oh, I think it would sting for anybody losing a couple millions of dollars. They are not mentioning that it's Muslims that are killing these Christians. Well, yeah, of course they're not. They're not, not going to talk about that. So you'll write it off, move on, and make more money. Just a lot of bad deals. Well, sale prices at 432 Park keep sliding. Rents are doing the opposite. A split brokers describe as the building's Jekyll and Hyde reality. A certain buyer no longer wants in, but a certain renter still wants the address, repairs and all. Drones have been surveying the cracking facade ahead of a $160 million repair. While sale prices of the building continue to slide, rents are surging, with several units fetching $85,000 to $90,000 a month. Wow. Wow. The same 94th floor unit had signed lease with the renter willing to pay $85,000 a month, a building record for a half floor unit, before the buyer swooped in and signed a purchase contract first, bumping the renter out. That set off a chain reaction. Unit 66A is also asking $85,000, ultimately rented for over $90,000. Another unit 72A then rented for $85,000. Wow. 2 of the 3 units sold this year went to buyers already owned elsewhere in the building. Built in 2015 and designed by the late architect Raphael Vinale, the tower has been dogged by design complaints since it opened. The building has a couple of screw-ups, including oversized window frames and a layout that put prime front-facing views in the bathrooms rather than in the living spaces. Chef's Kitchen opens to a bar. The bigger issue emerged last year when a report warned that concrete cracks could send chunks raining down and potentially render the building uninhabitable. One owner hoped the courts would force the developer to pay for it. Residents have also complained of swaying, groaning, leaks, power outages, elevator problems, and the sound of trash hurtling down the chutes at alarming speeds. Oh my God. The condo board sued CIM Group, Maclo Properties, and the sponsor entity in 2021, citing more than 1,500 construction and design defects, some of which the board's engineering consultant flagged as life safety issues. A second suit filed in 2025 alleges that they knew about the facade cracking during construction and concealed it from buyers and city inspectors. CIM has denied the allegations and seeking dismissal. The cracking has allegedly caused flooding and corrosion. Elevators have reportedly gotten stuck during high winds. all for the clean, white, concrete, minimalist aesthetic. You ain't kidding. This is nuts. Like, somebody screwed up. Somebody should pay. You know what I mean? The drones circling above are surveying the tower ahead of the repair. I would never buy in that building. It was built so thin and so tall that it relies on advanced mechanical measures to stop it from swaying in the wind. That's what's caused a lot of the damage. Living there is a gamble. It's too dangerous for me to allow my relatives to live there. I mean, it's just crazy. That's nuts. That's knuckin' futz, man. All right, the new IRA says it's time for a civil war over there in Ireland. Hey, the Dumb Show is rated to stream. Well, thank you so much, Dumb Show. Security officials have said that the dissident Republican group could take matters into their own hands amid growing tensions over immigration. The new IRA is planning a campaign to drive migrants out of Ireland. I wonder if they'll be like old St. Patrick. St. Paddy, he got the snakes out of Ireland. The group, which emerged from the real IRA, continues to pursue Irish reunification, has noticed anger surrounding migration. A video circulating on social media last week appeared to show an unidentified man speaking on behalf of the new IRA issued an ultimatum. They will take control and they will give an ultimatum not to politicians but to the illegal migrants who are in the country. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. They declared it's going to be time for a civil war. That's exactly what these guys are going to do. And who can blame them? In July, Irish police charged law student Isabella Perry Sullivan with possessing explosives after a bomb was found in a vehicle in the Republic of Ireland during an operation focused on dissident Republican activity. Well, you don't say. The warning comes amid growing tensions surrounding mass migration. In June in Belfast, it was recorded and posted online. A Sudanese asylum seeker attempted to behead a local man. The real IRA formed in 1997 by former members of the provisional IRA who had rejected the peace process. In 2012, it merged with other dissident factions to commit to ending British sovereignty in Northern Ireland, establishing a new United Ireland, and became known as the new IRA. Okay, cool. Good for them. Arr. Good for them. Trump says Iran must pay compensation for those it killed and wounded. That's what he says. That's what he says. President Trump said on Monday that he demands Iran pay compensation for all the people they've killed. Trump's social media post came over the weekend, and it was nearly was nearing a deal with Oman. It's an interesting idea because now I'm likewise demanding compensation from Iran. Trump referenced claimed compensation from Iran for the October 2000 deadly bombing of the U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer USS Cole at the Yemeni port. So Trump added Tehran should also pay compensation to the families of the thousands of people killed during the anti-government protests in January. Rights groups say Iran governments continue to crack down on opponents during the war. Well, yeah, of course they are. What do you think they're going to stop? Iran is again refusing to reopen the Strait of Hormuz unless U.S. meets demands. Now, I was under the impression that the Strait was open. I was told that the Strait was open. What's going on? Is it open or is it closed? When are people going to realize we're never going to come to an understanding with Iran? Well, we're not going to come to an understanding with the government of Iran, but maybe, just maybe, we could, get a different government. I don't know. Iran warned on August 10th that it would not reopen the strait unless the United States agreed to illicit concessions. It's up to the U.S. side to stop and make amends for its illegal destructive actions. Well, if we don't start bombing the shit out of them again, then I don't know. The demands include the United States ending its war with Iran, Oh, removing the naval blockade. Oh, withdrawing troops. Oh, lifting sanctions. Oh, releasing assets. Paying for damages. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would drop off some, like, me personally, if I was in charge. Some, I don't know, some W-82s, maybe a few W-87s. Just saying. Hello. If it's open if you don't mind having stuff shot at your ship. We'll see. So, Trump addressed Iran's demands. I see that representatives of Islamic Republic of Iran is asking for compensation. Even though it was never mentioned in any of our negotiations. In response, Trump demanded compensation from Iran. He says, no. You're going to pay us now. As of August 9th, U.S. forces had redirected 55 commercial vessels. CENTCOM carried out strikes against Iran for 13 consecutive days in July before Trump ordered a pause. Okay. Trump says Iran's economy is in bad shape. That's what he says. It's in bad shape. How bad? No one knows really. It says Iran issues 6 demands on the U.S. to reopen the strait. I was told it was already open. So I guess someone's going to have to make up their mind. Race to reopen the Strait of Hormuz intensifies as global supply chain stress remains at COVID levels. Oh, right. COVID levels. Rolling 24-hour vessel count. See, what's going on here? This is weird. Trump says he's keeping it low key in his approach to Iran. So now it's a low-key approach to Iran. Now it's a low-key approach to Iran. Now it's a low-key approach to Iran. Yeah, so we are low-keying it. We are only semi-negotiating with them. We are just watching Iran with its huge inflation. In fact, they have no money. Trump did not attach any threats for any additional strikes. Iran's economy is in free fall. Grocery prices have shot up since the war broke out with the U.S. in February, with bread up 140%, dairy up 116%, food and drink prices up over 113% overall. It will work out. It always works out. It's like a chess game, Trump said. Okay. Iranian president said that he accused the U.S. of exerting pressure in an attempt to provoke the people protesting. Despite economic pressures, Iran's hardliners have repeatedly said the country will endure hardships so long as it's achieved its war goals, including controlling the Strait of Hormuz. Well, this guy says that
have the economic entity of the IRGC called Khatam al-Anbiya, which controls all the wealth and the income of the IRGC and a large part of the country's wealth. And they've been very, very successful in terms of getting huge amounts of income, just huge, and mostly because of the sanctions. Because the sanctions essentially creates this very narrow area of which money can come and go. And think of it like the Strait of Hormuz. It's a little waterway, and this entity has control of it. So they don't want to see the sanctions go away because they will lose.
Well, Renee, you're lucky because you just put this in right when I was getting ready to end the stream. So thank you.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you so much, Renee. With that means, folks, we are now $100 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. So thank you so much. If we were not prepared to invade Iran or use nukes, we should have never started the war in the first place. Trump realized the IRGC is self-destructing. Well, we'll see. Bella is dreaming. I see her flip her feet. Yeah, that's what she does, TV Green. I would say talks are over. It sounds like it. This may get everyone here to jump on me, but I feel Trump messed up by stopping the bombing, thinking his negotiating skills will make people negotiate as if they were regular people. Yeah, you don't stop the bombing until they beg you to stop. Like he's like listening to, we need to give Tehran a 72-hour notice that we're going to nuke Tehran and civilians need to leave. That would be a good idea. Just tell them that. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Let's see here. That's what I would do.
Lose their franchise, if you will. They will lose their power, their control over the money, and everything that goes along with it. So this is the battle going on inside Iran. When you hear there is tension within factions, and I think to see a solution to what's to this war, if you will, we have to look to what's happening in Iran, like a black market, gray market, illegal smuggling from the oil to everything else coming in and out. It's all going hidden from everyone's eyes. And of course, the people who are hurt most by all of this are the people of Iran. And they're unfortunately, very unfortunately, taking the brunt of all of this in their daily lives. Very, very difficult circumstances there now for people.
Oh, interesting. So yeah. So President Trump is signaling, at least for now, he's preparing to let the economic pressure on Iran do more work than expanding military action. No. So Trump has argued the U.S. naval blockade has compounded Iran's financial crisis. An Iranian woman in a local market in Tehran. Well, why is she not wearing a thing on her head? I thought they had to wear a thing on their head. So Iran's economy is in free fall. Inflation is skyrocketing. There's another woman without a thing on her head. I thought they had to wear things on their head. What's going on? The United States is strangling what's left of Iran's economy. Sanctions and the war have accelerated Iran's economic decline. It's a government's basic responsibility to provide and serve its nation. So, According to the Central Bank of Iran, national accounts, Iran's military share of government spending rose from 16% in 93 to 52% in 2006, while education spending fell from 27 to 15. Spending on health and social services also declined. So the 2020 budget says the IRGC received $6.96 billion compared to the $2.73 billion for Iran's larger conventional military. Well, so the official budget only captures parts of the spending. Ultimately, responsibility lies not with external pressure, but structural corruption. So, Treasury announced separate sanctions against crypto exchanges that were being used by the IRGC. Of course, people who are hurt most by this are the Iranian people. We'll have to keep an eye on it. All right, we got this Rep Boberg. Let's see here. We have become a weak country. We want the most powerful military to not use it. No one hates war more than a soldier who fights it. Remember, Iran was once the head of the Human Rights Council at the UN. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't it crazy? Let's see here. So Rep Boebert releases a statement after her son was arrested again on multiple felony charges. Like, this kid keeps getting arrested like a lot, man. They say like A lot of arrests. Like a lot of arrests going on over here. Like a lot of arrests. A lot of them. Like, it just keeps happening. Like, what's he doing to get arrested so much? How does this kid get arrested this many times? What is he up to? Seems to me like it's a lot of arrests. Could be more, could be less. It's a lot. Tyler Boebert, the 21-year-old son of Republican Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, is back in legal hot water. Yeah, I mean, takes after daddy. Okay. According to court records, Tyler Boebert was arrested in connection with 5 felony counts from an alleged incident dating to January 1st, 2024. The charges include sexual exploitation of a child, sexual exploitation of a child with intent to deal in, sell, distribute sexually exploited materials, videotape material, 2 counts of contributing to delinquency of a minor. Oh my God. He was taken into custody and released from Garfield County Jail after posting a $10,000 bond. Next court appearance is scheduled for August 19th. Ref. Boebert issued a brief statement stating, "I love my son. We take all these allegations very seriously and pray for everyone affected during this challenging time." Iran would use nukes on the U.S. if they got them. Oh, they would. They would. This is hardly Tyler Boebert's first encounter with the law. In 2024, he was arrested following a string of vehicle break-ins and property thefts around Rifle, Colorado. Police initially accused him of offenses including stolen credit cards, identification documents, and several juvenile accomplishments. Tyler ultimately pled guilty to attempted identity theft under a plea agreement. He's reportedly scheduled for another sentencing hearing on September 10th. He also faced a September 4th sentencing in Weld County after pleading guilty to misdemeanor child abuse through criminal negligence without injury. That case involved a 2025 incident involving his young son. TMZ previously reported that Tyler received another child abuse citation in February 2026 after his toddler allegedly wandered away from Rep. Boebert's Colorado home. No injury was reported. Rep. Boebert said her adult son should be held accountable for his decisions like any other citizen. The arrest could come at no political worst moment. The Colorado Republicans defending her seat while facing Democrat Eileen Laubacher, a retired Navy veteran. Boebert has also endured a public rupture with President Trump after campaigning for Representative Massey. Yeah, look at this. Boebert back in the news. At least it's not for a handy in the local movie theater. Let's see. Abamala. I don't know. Hey, bro, I enjoyed your stream. Fire. I had some suggestions I want to share with you, but I don't want to spam your chat. Let's chat on Discord. Okay. I'm not on Discord. So, Trump publicly threatened to withdraw his endorsement and support a primary challenge. Now Democrats and their media allies will undoubtedly attempt to hang the conduct of a 21-year-old man around his mother's neck. I mean, really? Really? James O'Keefe releases another shocking undercover video from Michigan showing him asking voters about duplicate absentee envelopes for the same person. Uh-oh. That be's a bot. Hey, what's up, Hank? How you doing? Thanks for being here, buddy. On election day, O'Keefe was on the ground in Michigan, preparing to expose voter fraud, which is commonly found in a state where Jocelyn Benson, the most dishonest Secretary of State, is administering elections. Yeah. She said, no voter fraud. She said there's no voter fraud because that's a crime. That's illegal, so there can't be any because it's a crime. And nobody breaks the law. That's what she said. Those were her words. So, O'Keefe's first bombshell that went viral on Saturday was an exclusive report featuring 6 non-citizens on Michigan's voter rolls who were also on a DHS's worst of the worst criminals list. We saw this one. On Sunday afternoon, he dropped another teaser. Time to raise the stakes tomorrow. All right. O'Keefe, duplicate absentee ballot envelopes in Detroit. Goes door to door interviewing affected voters. They probably sent her 2 ballots and she just signed them, I guess.
If you see here, you've got 2 different absentee ballots under your name.
That's illegal, right?
That's illegal. It's against the law. Yeah. Oh shit.
You put it. You scrape one of them off or something?
Can I scrape it off?
OMG has discovered duplicate absentee ballot return envelopes in Detroit, Michigan with shockingly different signatures. So we visited voters who may have been affected to interview them on Michigan's primary day, August 4th.
But it's your signature is on both of these.
Okay, then what?
And it was
Mistake then. They said they must have sent me too.
They must have made a mistake and sent you 2.
Yeah, disregard it. Don't bother me no more.
Oh, she slammed the door.
Don't bother me
Myrtle
no
Harvey,
more.
the voter, admitting the city of Detroit has made a mistake, sent her 2, which she filled out.
One of the addresses on a duplicate absentee ballot return envelope led us to an abandoned building.
The local police told us that this is an abandoned building. One was stamped as received September 8th. Hello. Do you guys know if this is an abandoned building?
Yeah.
When's the last time people lived here? You just drank here?
And many of the voters reacted to our questions with hostility.
2020 election, do you remember that? What about it? It says September 26, 2020, and then October 3rd, 2020.
I ain't worried about no 2. This is 26.
This is 2026.
Yeah, well, what the fuck is the 2020 got to do with it?
What the fuck is 2020 have to do with it?
Go, get off my porch.
Get off your property.
Get the fuck up.
Okay. You'll notice Margaret here. Look at the M there. On the other M, look at the M there. I'm not a handwriting expert. We'll leave that to you. And it appears as though nobody's lived here for a few years. And you can see this is not a stable place to step. My Naomi Price's name was listed twice. You can't tell me? And I just want to see, was that a mistake?
They probably sent her 2 ballots and she just signed them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, what's that mean?
You can see we got the cars over there where the rims were being looked at.
Well, I guess this is exactly why this area in Michigan had turnout that was 125% of the registered voters. And they just said, oh, it was same day registrations. No, it's because people did multiple fucking ballots. Multiple fucking ballots. This is a crime. This is a crime. Yeah, Detroit hospitality. Yeah.
These guys are staring at us.
All right, so that's O'Keefe.
Immediate question. If someone showed up on primary day at the polling location in Michigan claiming to be this voter, what safeguards would election workers require before issuing a ballot in the name of Lauren Andretti?
Can you at least look to make sure that I'm in the right place? The name is Lauren Christine Andretti, but I forgot my ID.
It's okay. Did you fill out the paper? You can fill out this affidavit on the back. Fill a bit on there and fill out the back.
I'm so excited to be able to vote, to exercise our right. And how great it is to be able to vote, not having to show your ID.
Yeah. Yes. As long as you sign that affidavit saying I am who I say I am. Who are we to say you are?
It sounds like the book, I am. What is it, Sam?
That's right. I am Sam.
So I am who I say I am, Sam said.
After the polling station showed us they were willing to give us Lauren Andretti's ballot without any form of ID, we visited Lauren's house. We wanted to ask if she was aware of these duplicate absentee ballot return envelopes from 2020. Unfortunately, we didn't find Lauren Andretti here, and it wouldn't be an OMG investigation without a random pedestrian getting involved.
James O'Keefe here in Detroit, Michigan, outside of this address. How are you? Hi. May I ask you a question?
What's the question?
Do you know of a Lauren Christine Andretti that lives there?
Who are you working for?
I'm an investigative reporter.
It looks like somebody's taking you for that vehicle right there. That looks kind of weird to me.
We got a cameraman right there. Yeah, we're the news organization.
Okay, well I'm not giving you permission to take me, and I have a police officer on the line with me right now.
You could call. It's a reporter. You call the police. They're going to call the police on us. That's okay. So,
as I was saying, in the 2020 election, you'll see Lauren Andretti sign that signature right there, November the 1st. Also, another signature, a much different signature, also on November the 1st, 2000. Are you filming me?
I'm filming that guy filming me and everybody.
Why, sir? This story's not about you. It's about this address right here.
I understand that, but this doesn't look right.
Why doesn't it look right? Why do they always film me? After that bizarre interaction, our next stop, the registered address of one Margaret Alma Bass, turned out to be a completely abandoned building. You know, we're investigative reporters, so we're trying to be a little discreet. So there's no one actually living there? Not supposed to.
I don't know. And this whole thing, I don't know. Is something going to happen? You would think something has to happen. They clearly, if they know these people submitted multiple ballots, did they count multiple ballots? Where's the feds? Where the fuck are the feds? Yeah, voting Democrat for 80 years got them screwed, yet they defend the situation. Yeah, it's crazy. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's just nuts. Because of a FOIA lawsuit by Election Integrity, our team, including 100 volunteers, and Check My Vote founder, Yehuda Miller, are entering the data for almost 1 million documents into a secure website. So they thought they got all these. They got the names, addresses. So, wow. 12.4% of absentee ballots are missing official envelopes. Oh. And the ones that they're finding are duplicates. 26,000 more ballots than ballot envelopes in violation of election law, which requires every absentee ballot to be accompanied by an absentee ballot envelope. Well, yeah, so is anything going to happen? Who knows? Is anything going to happen? Who knows? But this is what's happening also. It says, 2 arrested for shooting the home of Georgia's Secretary of State spokesman as couple slept inside. No one wants to fix it because both sides pay to play or pay to cheat. Well, I want them all in jail. Can we put them all in jail? Chloe Chanel says, I live in Michigan. This makes me so angry. Hey, what's up, Freedom Butterfly? How you doing? What's up, OG Sin? How you doing? I have to record a video and do some uploads. Hit the like and follow. Have a great night. Oh, well, thank you. This is about Election Wizard. What is this about Election Wizard? All right, we'll do that in a second. So, oh, you don't say. A Georgia election official spokesperson and his fiance were sleeping inside their Atlanta home when 30 bullets tore through the property. Robert Sinners, spokesperson for Brad Raffensperger, were awakened shortly after midnight. The sounds of gunfire ringing through the air. I'm in massive 2 shits. My vote no longer counts and machines steal every election. Well, Good Handy News rated you. Oh, well, thank you, Good Handy News. Thank you, Good Handy News. Let me see here. Oh, it says I got a raid from The Dumb Show and OG Sin, so that must be Good Handy News. Well, thank you to both of you. Greatly appreciate it. Hey, Sparkles. How's it going? Trump has been so tied up in courts that by the time he gets to the stuff, a new president will be in the White House. It's crazy. It's crazy. We're never going to get justice, are we? Please, someone tell me what the stealing elections have to do with democracy. Well, you know. So, police identified the suspects Gregory O'Neill Vaughn, 26, and Jermaine Darcell Howard, 29. Both men were arrested following a brief foot chase. Investigators are examining surveillance footage indicating a possible third suspect who remains at large. Bullets struck the couple's home, bedroom, living room, and exterior windows, damage stretching from the front of the house through the kitchen. Sinners told WJCL the home was struck by roughly 30 rounds. 30 rounds.
We're still confused why 30 shots hit our house last night.
We're just so confused.
Scariest thing we've ever had happen to us.
Robert Centers is searching for answers after Atlanta police say 2 men fired at least 30 rounds into his Southwest Atlanta home while he and his fiance were asleep inside.
This one right here.
Centers, who serves as the communications director for Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, showed us how the gunfire ripped through his home. From the front of the house all the way to the kitchen, where bullets pierced walls and even a board game. Somehow, no one was hurt.
No animals, no people harmed. So we're so thankful for that.
With the help of a neighbor, police quickly identified 2 suspects who are now under arrest. Investigators have not released a motive or said whether there's any connection to politics.
This is just a sobering reminder that we even have to think about political violence to begin with. I'm thinking this is less targeted toward me, but maybe targeted at this house.
Centers says he believes this home may have been targeted because of a previous tenant.
I've been told by multiple people that a drug dealer used to live here a couple years back.
Oh, drug dealer.
And maybe
Not
these guys didn't get the memo.
Drug dealer. Oh, maybe it was a drug dispute. Woman saved from stuck car on railroad crossing. Huh. This is a feel-good story.
Tonight, an act of bravery and compassion bringing 2 strangers together on the Treasure Coast. A young man saves a woman whose car got stuck on a railroad crossing in Hope Sound, rescuing her from near disaster. We spoke with them both about this chance encounter they believe was guided by faith. Just a few days ago, Josiah Bauer and Debbie Spolstra didn't know one another, but now they share a special connection.
Friday, I was leaving work and I was heading back home. I was trying to get home for a tire appointment, funny enough, and running late for it. Train crossing went down. I looked down at my phone and I glimpsed up and I saw the car stuck behind the railroad crossing.
Spolstra was still inside that car, stuck on the train tracks at Bridge Road and Dixie Highway in Hope Sound.
I was in a panic. What I did is I put my car in reverse. And apparently the gate got stuck on top of my car on the antenna. So when I tried to reverse, it would not let me reverse. I was kind of frozen. I sat there, I saw the train.
Bauer, realizing she was still in the car, didn't hesitate, jumping out of his car to help.
I threw it in park and just took off running. Tried to see what side the train was on to see if it would clear her or not, but it was on her side. Didn't really want to take a chance, so I ran across and tried to push up on the thingy to release her.
That split-second decision helping to avoid what could have been a devastating crash.
And he came just like a hero and lifted the gate up off of my car, and I was able to reverse and get off the tracks. And as soon as he did that, within seconds, the train passed by me. So it was very scary, life-changing experience for me.
Someone posted about Bauer's heroic actions on Facebook, and the post quickly went viral.
When we think of heroes, I think police officers and military. Not what I did. It was just a good thing to do.
The 2 say they've now bonded over this unique experience, attributing it to their shared faith.
He was put in one place, I was put in one place, and it was just fate, and it was a God thing. And then once I told him my grandson was Josiah, and then he was just like, oh, wow, it's definitely a God thing.
Oh. So she thinks God wanted her to get hit by the train? Like, you know those gates, they break pretty easy. You could just drive right through them. You could just like push it and then break. Just break this gate and leave. Drive through the gate. How about see the signal and don't think your 80 horsepower car can make it? Yeah. Oh, hello, Florida boy. Yeah, Florida middle school arrested for making homemade firearms. Well, I have to do this story. I'm gonna have to do that story. That's a story. It's a story I want to see. It's definitely a story I want to see. Anyway, check this out. Logan Christopher has been sentenced to 21 months in federal prison after being convicted over a series of obscenity-laced ex posts calling for ICE agents to be shot and killed. Someone in the post made direct response to Homeland Security's official account where he called ICE agents terrorists and Gestapo. Oh, good, get them. And it's always great when they get arrested by a little woman, like a little lady takes them to jail. That's always nice. In my opinion, anyway, it's nice. I like to see it. It's like brings, warms the cockles of my heart to see these idiots getting arrested. Should be a longer sentence. Yeah, it should be. Got this story here. Judge rules against Trump administration over ICE detention expansion 16,000 times in past year as cases swamp immigration courts. Wow. Wow. You don't say. The rulings mainly stem from a 2-page ICE memo that ordered an expansive interpretation of the ICE's interpretation of the 1996 immigration law. Yes, the law says that anyone arrested, any illegal alien shall be detained. That's what it says. The law says shall be detained. But they had a guy call 911, said he was stuck on the railroad tracks. What train was coming? What should I do? The operator says, get out of the car. About that time, the train hit the car and killed him. Oh, wow. No, you put it in drive, and you just drive through the gate. The gate will snap off. They break away. They're breakaway gates. So, Trump administration expansion of ICE detention authority applied for the first time to long-term residents with no criminal records has drawn a fierce judicial backlash. They do have a criminal record. They're here illegally. This is ridiculous. Nearly 500 judges ruling against the policy, even as the agency continues to detain thousands. The ruling mainly stems from an ICE memo that ordered an expansive interpretation of the agency's interpretation of the 96 law. The policy allows ICE to detain longtime immigrants without giving them a chance to seek bond while treating them similarly to immigrants who had just crossed the border. Like, they don't get bonus time for breaking the law for a longer amount of time. According to an analysis of 16,000 cases, exactly 469 judges have concluded that the updated policy violates the established detention law. 54 judges have sided with the administration's interpretation, with roughly 3/4 of those judges appointed by President Trump. The policies place notable pressure on the federal courts, with judges in states like California, Minnesota, Illinois, and New Jersey facing a sharp increase in habeas corpus petitions. To put it in perspective, one California district reported just 4 immigration habeas cases in 2021. By May of this year, the district received 675 cases. Like, why are these people able to even file habeas cases? They're here illegally. The law says they get detained. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Don't get it. The administration remains fully determined to carry out the president's immigration priorities. The overall dispute is now lost in 6 appeals court, with 2 rulings favor of its position. The matter is now likely going to go to the Supreme Court. In the meantime, ICE has continued increasing arrests, which may lead to another surge in immigration-related lawsuits. The Supreme Court needs to step up and do its fucking job. That's what needs to happen, and say, like, it doesn't matter how long you've been an illegal alien. An illegal alien can be detained. Yeah, so the longer you evade ICE, when you finally get caught, you get special treatment. Yeah, it's like, oh, you've been here so long that now you just, you get to stay. You get to stay. You get to stay. And you get to stay. So JimTellsYou brags about his woke church saying they've harbored illegal aliens. Can you believe it? Yeah. Our church was really active in LGBTQ rights. Yes. Again, the idea that Christianity is just another word for causing trouble. Wow.
If you suffer from forgetfulness or someone you love suffers from Alzheimer's,
You'll
stop
look like
praying,
this.
asking for a miracle. The answer is already.
If you are seeing this video
You're
right
seeing
now,
this guy's
it's because
face
you
because you
desperately need to manifest and attract money into your life as quick as
manifest
possible.
and attract
Maybe
money.
every single
Yes,
thing.
we
Our
want money.
church was really active in LGBTQ rights in the 90s. We caught some attention by letting an atheist join our church. in the 2000s. And then in the 2010s, again, stirred some controversy by housing an undocumented family, a mother and son who were close to being deported by ICE. And so, again, the idea that Christianity is just another word for causing trouble.
Oh, so he's just about, they decided they're going to break the law. So it makes it a crime to harbor illegal aliens and hide them from ICE. Talrico and his church belong in prison. It's not the first time Talrico's shown his wacky pseudo-Christian worldview. This guy's a nut job, man. Nut job. Got this. This is crazy. You've got the Kami Mandami's wife, Low T Talrico. Yeah, it must be the Church of Satan. That's a social club, not a church. Syria, Lebanon, yeah. The First Lady, New York City's First Lady, Rama Dawaji, traveled to Syria and Lebanon with taxpayer-funded NYPD security detail. Why would the mayor's wife have an NYPD taxpayer-funded security detail? Joe says, the way Paxton seems to be campaigning, that flake may be just be the next. Yeah, no, he's not. The poll, I'm going to tell you right, I'm going to let you in a little secret. The polls that they're showing that show him up by 3 are the same polls that showed Kamala winning Texas by 8. How did that turn out? Talrico is the best the Democrats got. So Zoran Kami Mandami's wife is heading to Syria and Lebanon next month, and she's bringing along cops assigned to the taxpayer-funded NYPD detail. Diwali will be jetting to the Middle East, and the State Department, the countries on the State Department's do not travel list. Well, if she wants to go to a do not travel list country, let her go. I'm sure she'll be fine. Source familiar with the security details said the First Lady, who's been described by the mayor as a private person, requested NYPD security after traveling overseas last month without police protection. 29-year-old Syrian artist has ties to the region and refers to herself as a Syrian illustrator. Her parents are Syrian Muslims from Damascus, from the Lebanon, from the Damascus. Mandami's office confirmed the trip and that NYPD security detail will accompany his wife. How is this going to work out? The source told the Post that it's not an official business. It's not doing anything for the city. One pro-Israel Jewish advocate opposed sending members of the NYPD to Syria and Lebanon, arguing the officers, not the Israel-bashing Dawaji, will be the targets. Yeah. You're putting police officers in danger. These are war zones. Dawaji doesn't need security. She'll get a hero's welcome and protected by Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Dawaji will be fine. She attended a residency for Haven of the Artists in Beirut, which described itself as a cultural feminist organization at the intersection of art and activism. Oh, look at, she failed to send the $2,000 raised from the T-shirt benefit to the Palestinian charity. Oh, so look at, she's another fraud, another phony. She raised money and didn't send it to the charity. In the middle of the campaign, he went on vacation with his girlfriend and had 3 events since winning his primary. He thinks he has it in the bag. Texas is not as red as he thinks. Oh, okay. We'll see. She curated Spotify playlists with songs from anti-Israel lyrics, whatever. I don't care about any of this. I care that that someone's taxpayer dollars are going with how much money to the next goal? $100. It's right there in the bottom. For every $100 in total donations across all platforms, including memberships, this show will be extended by an additional hour. We are currently $100 away from the second additional hour of the show. It's really funny. I get ads for Talrico on my YouTube feed while watching the Bronca show. I'm being asked for money for a Texas race, and I'm in the Northeast. Go figure. No. YouTube is weird like that. She's involved in the communist campaign pushing political candidates. So, yeah. So, there you go. You get what you get. You vote in a commie, and that's what you get. So, Florida middle schooler arrested for making homemade firearms and explosives for a robbery plot. A middle schooler. Wow. Authorities revealed that David was charged after showing an interest in school shooters, arguing that they might have prevented a tragedy. I don't see Telrico winning Texas. Beto was stronger and less delusional. Yeah. That's supposed to be a gun? The middle school student was arrested after he created his own homemade guns and explosives for a planned robbery. Sheriff's deputies in St. Johns County received a tip that two teenage boys, a 14-year-old Julian Davis and his friend, were messaging each other on Telegram about holding someone at gunpoint. The messages between the two boys were revealed to include information on building a shotgun and a musket. I don't think it's against the law to build your own guns. Hank gifted one Jim Tells You memberships. Thank you so much, Hank. Thank you so much, Hank. That means we are now just $94 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you, Hank. Let's see who got that membership. It says that G Sharkman, welcome. Welcome to the Jim Somniacs. Thank you much. Thank you kindly. Remember the gun that killed Shinzo Abe? Oh, yeah, but that was Japan. U.S., you can make your own guns. So, in a news conference, Sheriff Robert Hardwick, along with federal investigators, publicly addressed the case. Authorities revealed that Davis was charged after showing an interest in school shooters, arguing that they might have prevented a tragedy. Oh, he might have prevented a tragedy. How did they get this information? Law enforcement conducted searches at Davis's home. They found multiple homemade firearms, ammunition, suspected explosives, makeshift handcuffs. Facing multiple gun and explosive offenses. He's being charged as an adult at 14. He was also charged with his friend with conspiracy to commit a robbery. It can't be illegal for a 13-year-old to own a gun. It's an arts and crafts project. I mean, didn't Obama bring a 13-year-old to the White House to congratulate him on building him a bomb? I mean, it was a clock radio that he took apart and put together to look like a fucking bomb. Remember Ahmed with his bomb clock? I click on the donate button several times with $0 in the hopes he gets billed by the click. Oh. Authorities also uncovered handwritten notes by Davis that depicted what appeared to be constructions of weapons and a Molotov cocktail. So pictures. He drew pictures of a Molotov cocktail. White supremacy drawings and a copy of Brenton Tarrant's manifesto. So he's actually spending a lot of his time going through these high-profile cases. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I don't like this. I don't think he broke the law. I don't. My opinion, this kid did not break the law. That's my opinion. Mandami forced to pause the pied-à-terre tax rollout and pull down the shame the rich list in a win for New York City homeowners. The reign of the pied-à-terre is on a pause. Big Apple homeowners fighting the controversial pied-à-terre tax notched an early victory when a judge stunningly blocked Mandami's tortured rollout of the new levy. I think as 13 you could own a BB gun or a pellet gun. Most of my male cousins got 22s for their 12th birthdays. Yeah. The judge barred the city. So the state Supreme Court, was to say this, Staten Island Supreme Court Justice issued a temporary restraining order effectively putting the luxury second home tax on ice until at least August 31st court hearing about the peeved property owner's lawsuit. The judge barred the city from taking any further action on the 17,000 notices sent by the Department of Finance to homeowners. Yeah, but it was like 980,000. My TV's backlights are burning out, so Jim's in the shadow. Oh, that's terrible. Only the shadow knows. The judge barred the city from taking any further action, which declared that they could face a 5-figure tax bill unless they requested an exemption. So Mandami quickly promised to fight the ruling, and attempt to get a restraining order lifted and his socialist tax the rich policy rolling again. We disagree with today's ruling, but we're confident in both the surcharge and the city's ability to implement it fairly and effectively. This surcharge asks those who own second homes valued at $5 million or more to contribute their fair share to the city they benefit from. What? Ask Jim if he's old. I bet he says no. I'm not old. I'm a young man. So the tax, as outlined in the law by state lawmakers, applies to 1 to 3 family homes worth at least $5 million and co-ops and condos valued at $1 million or more. The bombshell order added another twist and came just hours after Hochul called Mandami to streamline the bungled rollout. We're not responsible for the rollout, Hochul said. This is something that we talked to the city about in advance. It's up to their tax department. Tax the rich. They're already taxed, you fucking liars. In a separate statement from Ozzy, after Ozzy's ruling, Hochul tried to distance herself from the implementation of the tax. While this lawsuit about the administration of tax is a matter for the city and the courts to work through, the governor continues to believe that the people who can afford a multi-million-dollar second home can afford to pay their fair share. Aren't they paying property taxes on it already? Where have your streams been the past few days? I had computer problems. I had to repair my computer. City officials published a database of more than 900,000 homeowners who could be hit with the tax after they put wealthy residents on notice to check your mailbox. The list confused many homeowners, especially the vast majority of properties seem to be outside the scope of the unoccupied, non-primary residents. The city then sent out 17,000 notices warning them they'd actually be hit with the tax. The mess prompted a trio of homeowners to sue, contending that either they erroneously received notices for the longtime primary residents or they were on the published tax roll. That's interesting. Because the city officials ignored the plethora of state data that the newly specific law granted them to make a thorough assessment of who could be eligible. Yeah, so they mass confusion. The city didn't follow any of the stuff. Two of the suing homeowners, Rachel O'Brien and Carmine Morano, the wife and father of City Councilman Frank Moreno, are both Staten Island residents and had their homes listed on the published tax roll. I watched Jim's repair video. It's obvious he's not a tech or a plumber. Never claimed to be. Well, technically, I am an electronics technician. That's what I did in the Navy, electronics technician. But we didn't work on computers. And they definitely didn't have plumbing. The third litigious homeowner, a Chelsea resident and self-declared Mandami supporter, received one of the 17,000 notices. Pieta terror. Mandami puts people in danger by posting a rich-to-be tax list publicly. It's very interesting. The city filed a response to the suit before the judge's ruling, contending that the DOF had so far received 3,800 submissions challenging the initial determination. Headley had his appeal approved after he uploaded a tax return the day after he initiated the lawsuit. City lawyers also argued that the requested restraining order would block them from taking action on the already filed and processed appeals, which could total nearly 8,000. TV Green says, per the IRS, the top 10% pay 70%, the top 50% pay 96%, the bottom pay near nothing. That's correct. There's like 40-some% that pays zero, nothing, zilch. We built radio rooms. Issuing a temporary restraining order that pauses the deadline may lull taxpayers into delaying their filings. The suing homeowners have not raised any legal actionable claim or identified any irreparable injury. You put their names out there in the thing. The judge ultimately sided with the homeowners, albeit temporarily. This really means the city must take down the online list of 900,000 taxpayers and can't take any action based on the list or the mail notices. When reached by the Post, Headley said he was pleased with the outcome and also acknowledged the city quickly got back to him after he uploaded his tax documents. I understand it's still the end of the month and there's a whole lot of time. Hopefully they can take the opportunity to roll things out a bit more smoothly. Before the ruling, Mandami poked fun at Mastro's involvement in the suit, slowly noting how the Adams administration veteran has become not always successful thorn in his side. Randy Mastro filing a lawsuit. Oh, yeah. We're gratified by the judge's decision, which vindicated the rights of hundreds of thousands of New York City homeowners. Whole lot of cannon plugs. Okay. Texas fugitive wanted for child sex abuse arrested by U.S. Marshals near Seattle. Oh, tarantula head. Texas fugitive wanted on a charge of continuous sex abuse of a child younger than 14. Oh. Well, he shouldn't have been apprehended as much as he should have been dispatched. You're telling me there's a list? Back in the day, we had a case joints when they went on vacation to see which houses had good stuff. Yeah, they put a list out of the, 900,000 wealthiest people in the city, basically. This is where they live. Dombreye Pamoso was wanted by the Collin County Sheriff's Office on arrest warrant. Hey, the Drunken Senpai is rated to stream. What's up? How you doing, Off-Label Podcast? Thanks, Rich. So U.S. Marshals Joint East Texas Fugitive Task Force was asked to assist in locating Pamoso. They subsequently determined he was in the greater Seattle area. Oh, we'll see, because pedophiles know Seattle's the place to be. So they load up the truck and they move to the Willamette Sea. 2 federal task forces work together to locate him. The arrest demonstrates the strength of our partnership. The charges he faced in Texas among the state's most serious child sex abuse offenses. Under Texas law, the offense of continuous sex abuse of a child applies when prosecutors allege a person committed 2 or more qualifying acts during a 30-day period, and the victim's younger than 14. Raid! Yeah, thanks for the raid. The go rob them list. That's what it was. A conviction carries a sentence of 25 to 99 years. 99. Virginia Governor Abigail Spermgurgler suffers an embarrassment at a weekend event as the crowd boos her off stage. You can look, you can see it gurgling in there. On Saturday, Spermgurgler bragged about her participation in the Old Fiddlers Convention, although she shared a video that made it seem as the crowd was happy to see her.
I'm in Galax. We just went to the Old Fiddlers Convention and joined community members at the Poor Man's Dinner. This was the 90th anniversary of the Fiddlers Convention. It was an incredible time. There was great food, great music, and great community.
Oh, great. Oh, here she gets booed.
It is such a pleasure to be here in Galax, and I hope that you continue to enjoy extraordinary music, community, and coming together on this fantastic final day of the convention. Thank you so much and enjoy.
Wow. Abe Lincoln is still working thanks to your service, Jim. Thanks for your service. They couldn't find a Navy electrical engineer. Fort Lewis saved the Bremerton boats. Yeah, well, it does. Not the correct sentence for that vile piece of trash. No, it should be They're all screaming, "Go F yourself." Yeah, it's crazy, right? Cum bucket CIA agent. Yep, that's her. Sperm gurgler. Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. I'm sorry, Hank. That's how I pronounce that name. Greg spent 2 years in Bremerton when I was just a tadpole. My dad was stationed there. Cool. Hey, Bill Vick, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so she got booed. Booed. It's unclear why Sperm Gurgler thought a visit to rural Virginia would not result in pushback for her radical left-wing communist views. Sperm Gurgler chose an LGBT activist who has fought against protections for girls' bathrooms to sit on a state board that directly influences related policies. After barely a month in office, she began pushing sweeping gun control laws that violate the Constitution. She aided the radical left's war on the American Republic after she signed legislation that would enter Virginia into the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. Virginia becomes the 19th jurisdiction to join the compact, bringing the total to 222 electoral votes, just 48 shy of the 270 needed to activate the plan. She's refused to put the safety of Virginians first and opposed several border security and enforcement measures. As governor, she rescinded Governor Glenn Youngkin's executive order directing localities to cooperate with ICE. Oh, yeah, she doesn't want anyone cooperating with ICE. She wants to let them get away. That's what she wants, to let them all get away. We got this story here. It says that high schoolers in Denmark will make oral defenses on assignments to curb AI cheating. It seems like the pump in your water cooling loop has been replaced. The pump has been replaced, but there's still some other parts that aren't working right. I have basically just the switch turned on. It's basically running priming. It's not. I'm not able to adjust it, so it doesn't. So it's like. I have another. They sent the wrong hub, so I have to wait for the new one with the right connection comes. They sent me one that doesn't have a. It's like a weird. I don't know. They sent me the wrong hub to control it. So I'm waiting. The guarantee over on your PC, Jim? No, the warranty is still good. It's just I didn't want to wait 3 weeks for them to send it. Yeah, burn this up before the replacement comes. Yeah, probably. So everywhere you go nowadays, you run into students abusing AI tools. Scandinavian Kingdom of Denmark is no exception. But now Danish high school students were required to verbally defend their written assignments as part of the emergency government measurement to combat AI cheating. There you go. A verbal defense will be needed for all exams written at home. The rule, which comes into force immediately, applies to students in the upper secondary education, which typically begins around age 16. High schools will use a firewall to keep students from accessing content to get an advantage. Cool. We have a problem with students using AI to cheat in upper secondary school. Of course they're going to use it. It's like people using calculators. Denmark begins extended conscription. Wow. Prepares for the Russian threat. And the U.S. designs on Greenland. To these fucking 19-year-old Danish princess begins military service. Wow. Oh, well, take care, Rich. I mean, you think you can take us? You think you could take us? This is a little bit of Schadenfreude, as they say. Anti-redistricting Rhino state senator loses to pro-Trump challenger following recount 3 months after he was certified the winner. A liberal GOP Indiana senator has suffered a shocking defeat. The Indianapolis Star reported that Trump-hating Rhino State Senator Spencer Deary, who defied the president on redistricting, officially lost his race to a pro-Trump challenger by 3 votes. The results were finalized by a 3-person commission that included Republican Secretary of State Diego Morales. Deary was previously certified as the winner of the election by 3 votes following the May 5th primary, but as the Indianapolis Star notes, Copenhagen successfully challenged 8 votes cast for Deary while only losing on two of her own. An incumbent state senator lost his race in a high-stakes recount that threw out several ballots. After the May 5th primary, Deary narrowly won by 3 votes. However, 4 months later, the opposing campaign won. How the hell can we have liberals that are in the Republican Party? You not remember the name Mike Pence? Indiana is loaded with liberal Republicans. So Trump-backed Republican candidate wins state redistricting. Monday's hearing involved Indiana Recount Commission. 3 more votes than Deary's final tally after 8 votes originally cast for Deary were rejected. So, ahead of the primary, many eyes were on various Indiana state Senate election results. He was first elected in 2022, essentially declared the winner, edging Copenhagen by 3 ballots. Copenhagen requested a complete review of the outcome, stating that state law was violated and undermined the will of Hoosier voters. At the time, Deary welcomed the request, saying, "Oh, all voters have the right to do it." But then once, Deary said the decision was an attempt to undermine the will of the voters after he released a lengthy statement. Today, we saw members of the Indiana Recount Commission attempt to undermine the will of the voters by treating ballots differently based on whether they furthered the president's political goals. Well, no, then they would have thrown out all your votes. Indiana law makes clear that valid votes should not be silenced simply because of minor errors made by clerks who were supposed to be trained. Fortunately, the commission does not get the last word. We're confident Indiana's appellate courts will restore the vote totals. After every legal vote was counted and the recount was completed, our campaign was declared the winner. We said from the beginning that we were confident we would prevail. Now that the election commission has certified results, it's time for Republicans to come together. More than 4 months ago, Paula Copenhagen prudently declared victory in a race that was not decided until today. It was not a prediction. It was a false statement at the time. Not only did she, with or without merit, attempt to get votes for Spencer Deary discarded, but she also wanted to subpoena voters that they would have to testify about the contents of their secret ballots, therefore endangering their privacy or elected. Well, she did win, though. Trans rep Sarah McBride admits shaming tactics failed as trans support declines. Blames well-coordinated right-wing movement. Oh. Got the OPC working again. If it was a Mac, it would have never broken in the first place. Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for your support. Well, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Jonathan. Indiana has always been on a slow takeover for decades. Yeah, well. Hey, Cool Frog, what's up? Great to see you. Yeah, this man that pretends that he's a woman says that transgender activist strategy of shaming and blaming and cutting off relationship with opponents has failed while blaming a well-funded, well-coordinated right-wing regressive movement. Oh. Pushing public opinion backwards. No. It's not going backwards. It's always been there. Stay away from kids and then get the fuck out of our face. I think that many of the strategies and tactics that were employed over the last 5 years that didn't work off staving the regression. Texas strategy of shaming and blaming. The first trans member of Congress made the comments while talking on declining support for trans ideology. Support on the issues facing the trans community is worse today than it was 5 years ago. Yeah, because it's because of you trans people. We've actually listened to you and seen what you've done, and we're like, fuck you. There's no question that a well-funded, well-coordinated right-wing regressive movement. McBride also conceded that the tactics have contributed to the shift. If I was speaking to an ally right now, the number one thing I would say is we need to speak up and we would need to stay in the conversation with people who aren't on our side. So it says allies, and we're speaking of allies. You're my ally. You might have to say everything perfectly. It's okay. McBride also came to the realization that cutting people off can prevent them from changing their views. Well, my views are that you're nuts, and you have nuts. This says, Italy's Meloni and Denmark's Frederiksen unite against illegal immigration, vow to protect Europe's Christian cultural heritage. Maybe it was the fact that you keep trying to make us believe women have dicks. That's part of it. That is part of it. That's part of it. These nuts. So a trans is right wing. According to them, they're saying it's right wing. Yeah. Italian prime minister is a right-winger. Danish prime minister stands on the left. But today, the two leaders come together to combat the scourge of mass migration. Giorgia Meloni and Mette Frederiksen together on Instagram to send a joint message to Europe. Stop letting in all the fucking criminals. The savages. Stop letting in the savages. Millions share this conviction. Yes. The invasion of the Spanish North African enclave of Ceuta brought the world to an absolute tragedy. Tragedy. That's a great song by the Beach Boys. I'm sorry, not the Beach Boys, the Bee Gees. Tragedy. Tragedy. According to God, any individual with a dick and balls is a man. Now Denmark joined the struggle. Meloni and Frederiksen joined forces against uncontrolled migration. Bikes on bikes is LGBTQ. That's right. Bikes on the bikes. No one can deny the negative impacts of illegal immigration on societies. Rising crime rates, increased pressure on public services. I would say on any form of immigration, this is true of. I mean, honestly, there's trade-offs, but does anyone not realize the amount of crime that increased in the early 1900s with all the immigration into the U.S. of the, even the people from Europe? They brought a lot of crime with them that came to the U.S. They did. Ordinary citizens have paid a high price for the uncontrolled migration. Enough is enough. I agree. 8 is enough. Is enough. Is enough. Is enough. He's enough. He's enough. He's enough. He's enough. He's enough. Is enough. Is enough. He's enough. He's enough. All right. All right. Let's do this. DSA governor candidate hires OnlyFans model as a deputy campaign manager. You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. Sounds like they want to attract men or something, hiring OnlyFans models. They think that's the way to win. Wiener, chicken diener. That's right. 8 is enough. Great TV show. Wait, Denmark and Italy are part of the EU, and the EU voted for all this migration. What the fuck? It's crazy, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, he destroyed those 2 boys. Yep. Yeah. John Money, Dr. John Money, the Reimer twins. Yeah, it's terrible. Terrible what they're doing. Terrible. Tragedy. So the leading candidate in Wisconsin's primary for governor, the crazy lady, Renee Faust, is a campaign manager for Francesca Hong. Democrat socialist Francesca Hong is hiring a OnlyFans model. Wow. It's a senior role in Hong's gubernatorial campaign. Maybe they're lesbian lovers. It's strange, isn't it, that botched circumcision made the doctor famous as a gender expert? It is crazy, yeah. The Hong campaign called Faust a licensed mental health clinician who has spent her career providing care to trafficking survivors. Huh.
You talked about your past positions that he keeps highlighting and, obviously likely would continue to do so before November should you win. One thing that they brought up as well was a post from you in 2021 where you said Americans should cancel Thanksgiving, should have done this in 1621. The post has been deleted. Republicans have been highlighting it.
Oh, it's been deleted.
Do you still believe that Thanksgiving should be canceled?
I'm a chef, and one of the first meals that I made that was for the community when I was 16 was a Thanksgiving meal. I always think my hospitality background in owning a restaurant for 7-8 years. That
No,
bringing
what happened was that sentencing today. Did Courtney Clenny get sentenced? What was the plea deal? I know there was a plea deal.
folks around the table to share conversation and build community is always a good.
All right, she's a liar. Wisconsinites deserve to have serious people leading the state. Would be bad news. Called hung a font for a zany liberal faculty lounge exotica. Well, something keeps popping. Are you guys hearing popping? I keep hearing popping. I hope it's not mine. She has eyes like Admiral Akbar. It's a trap! It's a trap! Admiral Akbar, it's a trap! Bug eyes, yeah. Her father, turns out, was a goldfish. No, she's a chef because she owned a restaurant that went bankrupt within 6 months, and her parents had to pay off the $40,000 debt that she was in. DSA members have no answer when asked what they will do with all the rapists when the prisons are abolished. Well, she's this man pretending to be a woman doesn't worry about getting raped. A DSA member who recently appeared on a news show was asked a very basic question. What do you do with all the rapists? Oh, well, you just get rid of the rape.
So if my
Oh, wait.
daughter is assaulted and raped, is there any agency that would seek to find her assailant and bring him to justice?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
What would
absolutely.
it be if not police, and where would he be if not a jail?
So I guess I really want to avoid getting kind of caught into these hypotheticals and talk more about the reality.
Caught in a hypotheticals. It's a hypothetical. Yeah, we're not going to hypothetically. We're just going to pretend no one gets raped. And it's hypothetical that someone's going to get raped.
That we're actually facing right now, which is that we're spending in absolutely outrageous amounts of money on police and policing, and we're not spending money on things that actually make people safe.
Oh, yeah, we should just give everybody guns. If everyone had a gun at all times, people would be a lot safer. A lot safer. A lot safer. Talk about reality. Yeah. Clenny got 6 years and talk she could parole in 2. Wow. Clenny got 6 years? Really? In Florida? She could walk in 2? Well, because she's already got like 2 years time served, right? I don't want to talk about the real issues. Yeah, Clenny. Really? Wow, I'm going to have to look into that. Anyway. All right, everybody. I want to thank everybody who was here. I hope we got back some of the subscribers we lost over the last 5 days. Really hurt my feelings when all these people unsubscribed. Made me wonder why I'm even doing this. But anyway, I want to thank everybody who was here. We did not hit the goal for the additional hour. Although we did get 1 additional hour, and we did do 4 hours. So technically we did do 2 extra hours tonight. I just want everyone to realize that we went 4 hours. That was a quick hour. No, it was the hour. 4 years time served. Are you serious? Wow. Great show. God bless. So tomorrow, thanks, Mod. Thank everybody. Yeah. So I guess I'll send everybody over to Joe on YouTube and then over to Third Railify on Rumble. I like to mix it up a little. And I'll see everybody tomorrow, Tuesday. It's probably 7 o'clock again. Try and catch a raid from Robert Gavea if he can do it. If not, no worries. No worries. Thank you all for being here, and come back to. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please check out my friends at BillTongUSA.com. Use promo code Jim to save 10%. 8-ounce bags make excellent gifts. If you like a little bit of spice, check out the Peri Peri. If you like a lot of spice, check out the Ghost Pepper or the Carolina Reaper. That'll really put some fire in your patootie, if you know what I'm saying. They'll put a sprinkle in your dinkle. It'll put a round in your bedown. That's what it'll do. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Use promo code Jim. Check them out. All American made, fresh produced every daily, and shipped directly to you. So check them out. www.BillTongUSA.com. Use promo code Jim. I'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye. Come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news.